not.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside Chapman Field on the campus of Cumberland Valley High School for the 6A football state championship game between LaSalle and Pittsburgh Central Catholic. We'll end this season just the way that we started, with a opener out in Pittsburgh back in August between this same Pittsburgh Central Catholic team and LaSalle. This will be the last game of football in 2025. Bob Long here for the broadcast on Bob Long Sports. It's an audio-only broadcast per PIAA regulations. Pat Burkhead, Jack McGuire with me, and Jack Burns will be along momentarily. When you think about Pittsburgh Central Catholic, you think about intensity, physicality, a huge offensive line that's been carrying the day this year for the Vikings of Central Catholic, including James Halter, a big-time player on the left-hand side of the line. Chris Black, the running back, a key to the success for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. He was dinged up throughout the early parts of the season, including the game they played against LaSalle. But just last week, Pat, he ran for 211 yards. He was a phenomenal back, and he's going to be a key for Pittsburgh Central Catholic tonight.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Central Catholic runs the ball a lot, and at times we have seen LaSalle struggle a little bit against the run. During that Imhotep game, they kind of got back into the game by running the ball, so the LaSalle defense is going to need to figure out a way to stop him.
Jack McGuire is with us here as well. You turn the page to the LaSalle Explorers. This is a program that has not been to this game since 2010. They haven't won since 2009. That was their first and only state championship. Back here 15 years later, how did they do it?
Well, like you said, Bob, they started off against Pittsburgh Central Catholic, and I think that gave them the momentum to go win all their non-conference games and then almost go flawless through the PCL besides Roman Catholic. Like you said, LaSalle versus PCC started the season, and LaSalle came out on top. Here we have another rematch of the two of them. I think LaSalle will come out on top again if they give it to Ozzie Nelson. He's close to 1,000 rushing yards, and I think he'll get that record today.
Now, Gavin Sidwar is also the starting quarterback for LaSalle. He's broken a ton of records throwing the football with some terrific targets. Owen Johnson, Joey O'Brien, J.P. Oates, who recently flipped his commitment from James Madison to Virginia Tech. That's a big move for him. He'll be playing on the defensive side of the football at the next level. Jimmy Mahoney has been dinged up over the course of the year, but he is back now and ready to play. So this will be a heck of a football game. This is the pregame show here on Bob Long Sports. Stay with us, and I see our special guests coming in the booth, Mike Durso and Ed Bongard from the late 90s LaSalle high school football teams will join us next.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA state tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches. The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the next best place.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on Bob Long Sports, live from Chapman Field at Cumberland Valley High School for the PIAA 6A Football Championship, a radio broadcast, and we're thrilled to be here. Really thrilled to be here with two members of the late 90s LaSalle football team, Mike Durso from the class of 97 and Ed Bongard from the class of 1998. Guys, I know it's a special day for you. 29 years, I'm hearing, to the day, Mike, since your own championship, and what does it mean to be out here tonight?
Yeah, it's funny. We just realized that driving up here tonight, there's a text chain that Ed and I are on with a bunch of alumni, and we realized it was 29 years. I think it's a good sign and a good omen that it's the right time to go win a state title. But yeah, it was a little different 29 years ago at Northeast High School, as we were just saying, in a mud pit than it is out here in Cumberland Valley. But it's a good omen. It's
a good omen, and your teammate, Brett Gordon, and your very good friend Brett Gordon, is coaching this program his second year at the helm, has a chance to be the first father-son duo to win state championships as coaches. Go to you, Ed. You've known Brett for a very long time. What does it mean to have Brett now running the show and everything that he has in front of him?
Yeah, great question, Bob. And I know all of us, his classmates, his friends, those around the, 96 football team, class of 98, couldn't be happier when Brett was named the coach of LaSalle High School. We know the kind of leader Brett is. We know that when he leads young men, and even when he was a leader for us, he has that aura, right, that people want to follow him, right? He knows what he's talking about from a football sense, so, the players right away can pick up on that, right? Players want to be coached and be coached hard by those that have been there before. And Brett's been there, with LaSalle and Villanova, and we couldn't be happier that he's here, achieving this. I think we all knew it would happen, right, with the team that they had. And, we're excited to see what happens tonight.
Well, let's take a step back then with Brett. So one of my favorite stories out there is when Joe Judge and Kevin Stefanski were both head coaches in the NFL, and somebody asked Joe Judge the question in a press conference, hey, you and Stefanski, who was the best quarterback in the Catholic League at that time? And Joe Judge says, well, it was Brett Gordon, actually. And people are thinking, Brett Gordon? Who is Brett Gordon? What was special about Brett at the high school level and being your quarterback at the time?
Yeah, listen, I mean, you can talk about the touchdowns, the completions, the yardage. That stuff has put him in a different class. His talent on the field, to me, was it's the stats speak for itself, the titles, the wins. I think what made Brett is that he's just an exceptional leader. He was able to, in his own way, as an underclassman, come in as a sophomore and take control of a team, and he did it in a different way as a sophomore than he probably did as a junior and even as a senior. And initially it was, I'm going to lead by just letting you guys know that you can trust me, and then I'm going to be here and I'm going to deliver. And as his career progressed, he did it in a much more vocal, and this is my team, and I'm going to take control, and I am going to command and demand that you live and play up to a certain standard. And that came from his dad. I mean, Coach Gordon, we were laughing. He used to have a rule that said, you're not allowed to slip. You're not allowed to fumble. You're not allowed to jump off sides. And I think his intensity and his accountability kind of just went right to Brett, and that's how the team kind of followed suit for both of them.
And quite a coaching tree and legacy at LaSalle. You had Drew Gordon, who you just mentioned, who won the state championship as a head coach on a snowy day in 2009. He was the offensive coordinator back in the late 90s with Joe Callistra as the head coach. That's quite a staff, now leading into Brett, going from player to dad and now head coach at LaSalle. The LaSalle legacy oozes through those three men's veins, and I'm curious if you can break down a little bit about each of those men and what they brought to the table, Ed.
Yeah, happy to. So, I've said it a couple times this year where, Drew Gordon with Brett revolutionized the Catholic League with the passing offense, right? You look before that, and it was 3 yards in a cloud of dust, right? And a lot of times, Ryan was the best team, and they built it on defense. Along came, Drew Gordon and Joe Clister kind of gave him the reins to say, go ahead, we know we have, what you can build and what you're capable of as a coach. So Drew did that, obviously with Brett, and they took off, and the records, as Mike said, stand for themselves. Joe Clistra, was a defensive first guy. I spent a lot of time with him being on the defensive side. Every week, we had Brendan Coyle, who was a great sack man at 180 pounds, just a great defensive lineman. But every week he would tell Brendan, you're going up against a Division I player, right? It wasn't true. Brendan would school all these guys. But, he had that mindset that, hey, you have to bring it every week, right? We know how good you are, but you have to show it each week. Once again, we talked about it a couple times, and you talked about it with Brett on the programs, special teams. That was Joe Clister's baby, right? You see so much of that now with Brett. And this team's really excelled this year at special teams and helped them. You look at the Malvar game, right? Without those 2 kickoff returns, the team might not be 12-1 right now, right? So you see, what Brett has taken from each of those mentors, Clistra, his dad, and brought it to this team, and it's so special right now. And Brett's just, a culmination of all those things. And they're killing it right now.
Well, we're glad to have you guys here. This is the pregame show for the PIAA 6A State Championship game. LaSalle, Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Our special guests, Ed Baumgard from the class of '98, Mike Durso from the class of 1997. All right, well, it's story time, and I know you guys off air were talking about some of your long tales and fabled eras of LaSalle football. One in particular, you talked about a tough day at Northeast High School with a particularly muddy track. Tell us more about that one, Mike.
Yeah, the game that was 29 years ago today, my senior year, Ed's junior year.
Who was the game? Who'd you play against? For what title, et cetera?
It was the Catholic League title. There were still North and South divisions at that point. We played Father Judge in the championship. We'd beaten them earlier in the season. And the game was at Northeast, and a couple days before the game, it had rained like a monsoon, and there was a bunch of four-wheelers and a bunch of different things, ATVs, that were ridden around on the field. I don't know if it was the night before the game or maybe the morning of the game, so the field was in shambles. It was tracks and mud and inches of mud on the field. So when we come out to these games and see this field and this beautiful turf, we're like, man, we could have done some real damage playing on turf. But it was an incredible game. It was a really interesting game in that Judge, we'd thrown the ball all over everybody all year, and our defense was lights out. But they dropped 8, tried to slow the game down, and basically say, we're not going to let you throw the ball. We still threw the ball a fair amount. Brett had a pretty good game, so did Petrak. But we were able to run the ball a little bit and go back-to-back, win the second one in a row. So.
Yeah, just chime in on that. Mike had probably his best game of the year, and to Brett's credit, right, he kind of stood back, right, didn't have the kind of numbers he had in a normal game because of the defense Judge was playing. And Mike took the reins. I think it was like 20 for 88, or maybe he had over 100 yards. He had a heck of a game. It was your best game all year. And Brett's mentality was, okay, it's just Mike's time, right? And Mike is a senior. He was hurt a little bit that year, and just that was the game that he took over, right? I don't think anybody could have been more happy, because I look back at Mike, and quick story in the Thanksgiving Day game, right? Mike, I made a play on third down, and Mike comes running out, and he slapped my helmet, and he was the first one on the field to congratulate people. So even though he had a rough year with being injuries and whatnot, he was the first one to congratulate people, regardless of what was going on, right? So you see a lot of that right now with this team, and it's all hands on deck as team is first, right? So it was a pretty neat experience, and it was great. I think no one was happier than the rest of the team for Mike to have that kind of game, in his last game, and for the team to go 14-0.
I'm clearly uncomfortable with this, Bob, so I'm going to redirect this quickly and say 2 things. One, you guys like Baumgard, Boron, Brendan Coyle, Middle Miss, John Price. We had some monsters out there on defense, which made our job easy. And the second thing I'll say is, I would have to try out to be the water boy on this team. So let's be very clear. There are levels to this, and that is a different level than I think what we were doing back then.
Well, let's talk about that, right? Because you mentioned off air that there were a lot of dual sport athletes, and there are on this team as well, but not as many Notre Dame, Missouri, Virginia Tech type commits back in 1996. What do you attribute that to, and what is it about this group? I'm not asking which team is better, by the way. I would never be so bold, but break down some of those differences, Mike. I see that reaction there.
My line is simple, and my teammates will get mad at me for saying this. I don't think we would compete with this team in a football game. I think it's pretty clear that this is a more talented team. In a street fight, it's a different story. We were built differently back then. And
well, Salle and gentlemen, Mike,
yeah.
come on
now. But you know, the idea of multi-sport athletes, we had some guys, you know, that were big time Division I players in other sports. Eddie was a big baseball player. Boron went and played lacrosse in college. Mike Marcel was an All-American in college at Maryland. We had some really great athletes, not necessarily Division I football players, but it kind of all came together at the right point with the right coaching staff, with the right leadership, and with the right intangibles. Our team was special in the sense that we had an edge and an attitude. We stepped on the field. It was we beat a lot of teams before we ever stepped on the field because of our mentality.
Yeah, I'll further that. You know, I said this. I didn't play sophomore year, right? And I came back junior year, and just the aura of that team, I've never had it since, never had it before, was we're the team, right? We don't care what happened last year. Yes, we won a Catholic League last year, but we are the team, and regardless of what anybody else does, we determine our own fate. And it was unbelievable looking back, being on a team like that. And just to further, and I think this team has an opportunity to do it tonight, when you win a championship like that, you build bonds that last forever, right? Mike talked about the text strings and, you know, different text strings, you know, with different groups. But, you know, there's that 96 football team, and there's one of our senior class, you know, that Brett's a part of. And, you know, we just go back and forth. And to go back to your question, Bob, the running joke is it'd probably be a running clock by halftime if 96 played this team, just with the level of talent on this team and just the speed and physicality and, you know, and how much the games change where people are concentrating, you know, for the most part on one sport. Now you have a Joey O'Brien and Grayson who are basketball players and unbelievable athletes, right? I mean, Grayson probably came to LaSalle more well known for basketball, and now look what he's become, and that's a tribute to him. And, you know, Brett, I know, changed him from defensive end, offensive tackle. And
good move.
What a great move that is, right?
Number 9 player in the country.
Unbelievable. Yeah. You know, I think Notre Dame's getting two of the best between GPA and just their skills on the field and the kind of people they are, right? Freeman's got to be really happy about those two, you know, young men coming to Notre Dame next year, and I'm sure they'll be able to contribute pretty quickly there. But definitely a different game, and the level's cranked up.
We're talking to Ed Bongard from LaSalle, class of 1998, Mike Durso from the class of 1997. Guys, you won at one point 32 straight football games. Not something that's been done since in the history of LaSalle football, or before, for that matter. So, yes, regardless of what this team does here today, you're hoping that they join the Brotherhood of Champions like you guys are. But tell me more about that run and how it feels to have a 32-game win streak at your back for the rest of your days.
Yeah, it started the 95 season, which was my junior year, Brett's sophomore year, that Ed was just talking about. We actually lost our first 2 games of the season and then rattled off, I think it was 11 in a row to win the Catholic League. And you saw, I was saying earlier, Rob, you see it with this team. You saw with that team as things started to go, we started to really believe in ourselves, and things started to come together from an offensive perspective under Coach Gordon and the leadership of Brett, and everything just kind of came together as we started to knock teams off. I think you saw that with this team a little bit too. They got through that tough Roman loss, and then you look at the stats after that game. I think I read something that Gavin has like 33 touchdowns and 0 interceptions since that game, something crazy like that. So I think this team built the same way that our team did. We got through that first year, rattled off 14 in a row, and then Ed's senior year took another 8 to get it to 32. So it was a pretty impressive run. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, you talk about it. You know, it was a lot of fun, right? While it was happening, and I said in the message today, Brian Kersey, who was a member of our 96 team, or the 95 team, he was at the send-off, right? It was really cool, and my response was, I hope these kids are living in a moment, right? Because this is something so cool that when we look back, you know, there's a lot of emotion that I get because, you know, you kind of reminisce and, you know, at the moment, we'll do it again senior year, right? But junior year was so special looking back now, right? You just hope, you know, these juniors are living in the moment, right? The seniors, obviously, this is their last run, and obviously they know what they're playing for, right? This is their last game, one way or the other, for playing, you know, for the blue and gold. And it'll be a special game for them. But you hope the juniors and sophomores, and even some of the freshmen, right, that Brett brought up, you know, are really just enjoying this experience because it is something that, you know, will last with them the rest of their lives.
Heck of a point there from Ed Bongard, our guest here, class of 1998. Mike Durso with us here as well. We'll let you guys go in a minute here, but what are your thoughts on this contest? We've seen Central Catholic earlier in the year. You guys have been at just about every game down on the sidelines. So what do you see? in this contest, and what's the key?
Yeah, I was in Pittsburgh. I think it was week 0. I think it was 23-6, and I think both teams are different. I think you've seen some development on both teams. Listen, I don't think that our defense will give up 30 points, and I don't see a way in which our offense doesn't score 30 points. That's kind of the simplest way I can look at it. I don't know that you're stopping this offense at this point in the way they're rolling. And remember, he didn't have Jimmy Mahoney wasn't playing a lot of offense that time. Joey was hurt the whole second half, didn't play a whole lot. JP wasn't playing defense. You've got a whole different structure on this team tonight. And I know they've got some other players. I think they're number one. Their running back's kind of taking a bigger role in the offense, and he can play. I think this is a 2 or 3 touchdown game. I really do. I think we pull away in the second half and hoist the state trophy.
Well, it's a great call. You know, Brett said it this week on Talk with You, is that the players took ownership. Right? When players take ownership of a team, something special typically happens. So I think it is going to be a close game. I was thinking 10-point game, you know, maybe that 27-17, you know, Mike likes 30, maybe 30-20. I think Pittsburgh Central, as big as their offensive line is, probably does put the ball in the end zone, but have to love LaSalle in this game just with everything that's going their way right now and the way Brett has them playing.
Well, I'll tell you what I love. I love you guys coming up here, taking some time with us, helping to preview the contest and telling us some war stories as well. Mike Durso from the class of 97, Ed Bongard from the class of 98. 2 champs with us in the booth previewing the 6A championship. Thanks, guys.
Bob, thank you. You do a tremendous job all year. There's alumni all over the country, and we're communicating with them, and you enable them to watch all these games, so we appreciate everything you do. It's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Job,
Enjoy
Bob.
the contest, guys. Special night here.
Yes, thank you.
Take care, and we'll be right back on the other side. This is Bob Long Sports.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA state tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kame go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket. With a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches. The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the next best place.
The intensity builds, and we are just about ready for kickoff here from Chapman Field on the campus of Cumberland Valley High School. Bob Long, Pat Burkhead, Jack McGuire, and Jack Burns here for a audio-only broadcast of the PIAA 6A Football Championship per PIAA regulation. So thrilled to be here with all of you as Central Catholic. Their only loss of the year came to LaSalle in the opening salvo of the season, a game out in Pittsburgh at the KDKA Classic. LaSalle's only loss in the year to Roman Catholic, and both teams are 48 minutes away from glory. Let's send it here now to Pat Burkhead. Pat, a thought on this contest as you think about LaSalle, the ability to throw the ball down the field, that's really been their superpower. How have they done it?
Yeah, obviously Gavin Sidwar's a great leader and a great quarterback, and he has so many weapons, it's hard to cover all of them. Joey O'Brien, Owen Johnson, Jimmy Mahoney, and more. It's hard to cover that many people because Gavin Sidwar can spread the field, and he hits all of his targets throughout the game, and he has such a good relationship with all of those wide receivers.
Jack Burns is with us here. What a season it has been. You think about late August all the way to early December, and there have been lots of tent poles and lots of inflection points along the way. As you think back to this LaSalle team over the last 4 months, what stands out to you as a one key that's brought them to this point?
Right, absolutely. You know, it's been a great journey since August. I think a big key for them is their ferocity. You know, this team has been nothing but battled every single game. I really think that's going to drive them to victory.
Jack McGuire with us here as well. And you think about a cold night here at Chapman Field. It's going to be an opportunity for 48 minutes to determine a champion, Jack.
Yeah, Bob. The 13-1 Central Catholic Vikings, led by Ryan Lemire, got off to a rough start, starting their season falling short to the Explorers 23-6. If you heard their record just a moment ago, then you would know they have bounced back very well. They scored 39.4 points per game and led up 15.3. On the other hand, the 12-1 LaSalle Explorers, led by Brett Gordon in his second season, have been phenomenal this year. They started their season off with 4 impressive non-league wins, one of which came against who they are facing tonight. They also defeated all their PCL opponents except Roman Catholic, who just won the 5A state championship for the first time in program history last night. They have scored 42.2 points per game and led up 11. Both teams have a very impressive history. PCC has won 12 conference championships, 9 WPIAL championships, and 4 state championships. They have also been the runner-up in this game 4 times. LaSalle has won 16 PCL championships, 9 city championships, and 1 state championship. They have been the runner-up in the championship game 1 time. The only 3 times the Explorers have been in the state championship, including today, Coach Gordon was the head coach. Moving to the players, PCC is led by quarterback Owen Herrick, who was new to varsity exposure when these teams faced off for the first time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was his first snap taken as a varsity quarterback, Jack, and he has absolutely improved over the course of the year, and I do think that's one big key, an opportunity for Pittsburgh Central Catholic to try to exploit the LaSalle secondary, but they're going to need their sophomore quarterback, again, to show that improvement, show that maturity over the last 3 months to do it. Now at center field, or at the midfield of Cumberland Valley High School, the coin toss, the ceremonial coin toss, this had already been determined about 30 minutes ago, but now with a packed set of stands on the LaSalle side of things and Pittsburgh Central Catholic having their fan base roll in as well, we will get prepped for football. LaSalle tonight will be wearing the gold helmets. They have navy blue tops, gold bottoms. Pittsburgh Central Catholic with navy blue helmets, white tops and bottoms. 2 good-looking uniforms, 2 terrific teams, and the last game of football, Pat, here in the 2025 calendar.
Yeah, LaSalle, ever since that loss to the Prep last year, has worked so hard to get the opportunity to play in this game, and they're finally here. They're going to do everything they can today to get the win.
And after that coin toss, the entire LaSalle College High School team comes out to the hash marks. They are fired up and ready to go, and Central Catholic, they stand on their sideline ready to go as we get football underway for the last time in 2025. We'll pause now for the national anthem that will be sung live here in the building.
By the dawn's early light, when so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streamed, and the
heck of a rendition of the national anthem ready to get going. What's been 16 years in the making for LaSalle, and the first time in 15 that they've been in this football game. Now mere moments away from getting this underway. Central Catholic, they've been here before. This is a program that was here as recently as last year, and an opportunity for them to win a state championship under Ryan Lehmeyer, who's done a great job in the last few years since he's come over to Central Catholic. Got a great coaching resume, does Lehmeyer. And he's looking to win a state title here tonight. LaSalle will kick it from left to right as we see it. Central Catholic will receive the opening kickoff. You can even see with the scoreboard cam, it's starting to shake. A big crowd here for LaSalle, a boisterous one as well, and they'll get ready to watch this club fight for a state championship here tonight. Chris Heck will kick this one deep. Chris Black deep to receive for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And with that, toe to leather, we are underway in a state final. A bouncing kick recovered at the 25-yard line, scooted out of bounds. Big hit just to deposit him into the sideline at the 33. Number 3, Trey Hopkins in there on the stop. Let's meet the LaSalle College High School defense. Caleb Davidson, Kyrie Mitchell, Jamel Williams, and Ryan Fandozzi to start up front. In the linebacking core, we'll see number 43, Cooper Halig, as well as number 8, who's done an awesome job all year, Josh Simmons, popping into a role. Now LaSalle, look at this. Keenan Stahl's going to pop on. Davidson didn't start on, and that's a double substitution that came on after they first came to the field, but before Pittsburgh Central Catholic could snap the football from the 33-yard line. So now the sophomore quarterback, Owen Herrick, takes the opening snap, rolls right, fires it over the middle, early contact, and no call. Joey O'Brien in there on coverage. And I thought early on, that's one that could have gone against the LaSalle Explorers.
Yeah, a little bit early there from O'Brien, but he's so great in coverage, and I think set the tone there with a big hit.
Aiden Nasaka, number 14, was the intended receiver, joined by Maceo Watkins, Max Roman as the primary backs. Chris Black in the backfield, and they're going to blow this one dead. Thrown from the near side. Nice to have the officials mic'd up here tonight. 2nd down and 15 coming up. Backed up to the 33-yard line. Line to gain is out at the 48. Nasaka splits out wide. Black is in the backfield along with number 12, Owen Herrick. First-year starter, practiced with the varsity last year. He's played a lot of time in the system, but almost a junior now if you think about it. Takes the deep drop, steps out of one would-be tackler, not the second one, drop for a loss. Josh Simmons in there on the tackle and the sack. It's a loss of 4, 3rd down and long coming up.
JP Oates got in there originally and forced Herrick to kind of scramble, and then Josh Simmons came in and made the tackle.
Yeah, JP Oates, that other starter that we didn't mention on the defensive line there, Pat. He started as just a tight end to start the year, but certainly has those traits. Maybe isn't an NFL-type tight end based on height alone, but he has the measurables to be a big-time outside linebacker or edge rusher. And now that's what he's going to Virginia Tech to play, is outside linebacker and edge. Now 3rd down, they got to get all the way to the 48. From the 30, another good rush into the backfield, and Herrick got rid of it, dumped it off. It's going to come up well short. The running back took it up the far side, out of bounds at about, maybe stayed in bounds, but at the 36-yard line, it'll be 4th down and 12.
Bob, so far this game, the Explorers defensive line has done a great job of getting around 4-star offensive lineman Jimmy Callis. He's a really big threat on the offensive line.
Callis, a returning starter. He's been offered by 60-plus schools. His father, Todd, had a 9-year NFL career. His brother Kyle played at Michigan, and now this punt is a high punt, and LaSalle gets away. It bounces into the sideline around the 35-yard line. LaSalle's defense gets off the field, and now the offense has its first opportunity with 10 minutes and 23 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Jackson, Andrew Sorge, and Danny Lawyer. J.P. Oates, as we mentioned, will line up at tight end. Gavin Sidwar, a 6'3" quarterback who committed to Missouri. Joey O'Brien, Owen Johnson, Jimmy Mahoney will be the three primary wideouts, and Ozzie Nelson, the lead tailback. They come out 4 wide. Chima Auguste is the fourth starter, and they're going to flip this out to Joey O'Brien. Joey O'Brien keeps his feet, or did he? Referee comes in and says the knee hit the ground. Little screen pass to Joey O'Brien into the flat. It's a loss of 2, 2nd down and 12 coming up. Let's meet the defense for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Ashton Blatt, North Carolina commit. Cole Bayer, Angelo Pugliano, 2 big guys in that interior of the defensive line. And Manny Regas at 6 foot 230 can get off the edge. Roman Thompson, all-world type inside linebacker. Colson Gatton and Nick Karinga will slide up into that star position. Dominic Perella, Zach Gleason, the cornerbacks. Deep drop for Gavin Sidwar. Floats this one towards the sideline. It goes through the hands of number 12, Chima Auguste. It'll be 3rd down and 12. The back end of that defense, Seamus Mahan, a hard-hitting free safety, and Jordan Ray, a first-year starter at strong safety. Line to gain is at the 42-yard line, 3rd and 12.
In these teams' first 2 games, the Vikings did a great job of getting pressure on Gavin Sidwar. They came off the edge really strong. Let's see if they can do that tonight.
Line to gain is out at the 42. Ball spotted just outside the 30. Gavin Sidwar with 5 wide, goes empty in the shotgun. Across the middle for Jimmy Mahoney. Tries to get towards the line, got crushed. And it comes right to that spot. All depends on that spot. Initial inclination is 1st down, and they're moving the sticks. What a play by Jimmy Mahoney.
Gavin Sidwar has been outstanding so far. Coming into this game, he has passed for 3,186 yards on 217 completed passes and 38 touchdowns. Against North Penn, he went over 9,000 passing yards in his career, and he is 2 touchdown passes away from throwing for 40 touchdowns in a season.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable there. Already a record. And felt like about 2 weeks ago we were talking about him going over 8,000 yards. Here he is, over 9,000 yards as a career. That was already a school record. 5 on the play clock. They'll go to the ground game for the first time. Ozzie Nelson off the left guard, out to the 50, and they keep moving the legs forward. It's going to end up being a gain of 9 yards, and now a scuffle after the play. A flag comes in, and the question will be, who do the officials see? Central Catholic looking LaSalle's way, and should be an after-the-play penalty. So it would have been 2nd and 1, and now we'll await the call from our white-hatted official. Danny Lawyer called for unsportsmanlike conduct after the play, backs him up behind the sticks. 2nd down. 16 yards to go. The ball spotted at the 36-yard line. Line to gain is the 48 on the other side of midfield. 2 safety look here for Central Catholic. 1 in the backfield along with Gavin Sidwar, and they'll give it right back to Ozzie Nelson inside zone, and he got downhill to the 45-yard line. Gain of 9 again. 2 straight 9-yard totes for Ozzie Nelson. Sets up 3rd down and medium. Call it 3rd down and 7.
Bob, like you just said, that's the 2nd time in a row we saw Ozzie Nelson. He's going to be a key factor for the Explorers here tonight.
Potentially 2 down territory at this point. It all depends on what they do here on 3rd and 7. Ball spotted on the 45-yard line on LaSalle's side of the field. 10 personnel as Sidwar with a clean pocket dumps it off into the flat. Nelson has to make 1 miss. Tries to muscle forward, but could not. Great play out there defensively by Pittsburgh Central Catholic, number 40, Colson Gatton. It's only a gain of 3 and sets up 4th down and 4. Early decision for LaSalle, and here comes the special teams unit. Or maybe not. Off hustles Chris Heck now, and Gavin Sidwar, who has the ability to punt the football. He's taking a longer and a deeper than normal drop, and because of that confusion, Pittsburgh Central Catholic has to call a timeout.
Like I've said, I believe twice before, Bob, we have seen Gavin Sidwar punt 4 times this year, averaging 27.3 yards per punt.
Timeout called with 7 minutes and 24 seconds to play here in a scoreless first quarter. Both teams defensively have made a stop, Pat, and now LaSalle, do they actually punt this football or not? 4th and 4 coming up.
Yeah, we saw Central Catholic have 2 returners back there. If it's 11 versus 9, I wouldn't be surprised to see Sidwar with all that space throw the ball.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home. Thanks to Andrew Buda Rakowski, a proud sponsor and enthusiastic sponsor of what we're doing here on Bob Long Sports. Class of 1998 wishes his classmate, head coach Brett Gordon, the best, as well as the student athletes and the rest of the LaSalle community. Aiden Nasaka and Chris Black back deep to receive. Chris Heck to punt it away. Heels on the 34-yard line. It's a booming punt. And there was contact early. The ball came out. LaSalle's going to fall on it, but it doesn't much matter. Chima Auguste ran through Chris Black, who was looking to field that punt. And so now it'll be a walk-off penalty going Central Catholic's way, and we'll give them good field position. Here comes the call from the official. There's a long discussion here amongst these officials. He already made the signal. Here it is. So the ball will be spotted at the Central Catholic 40-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up. Looking across that offensive line for Central Catholic, Jimmy Callis, as we mentioned, John Sasek, Matt Bowers at center, Colbert, and James Halter, a verbal commit of Notre Dame at the right tackle position. Chris Black off the tackle. He's going to move forward, moves the pile forward for 3 yards on 1st down. Ball to be spotted at the 43-yard line, 2nd and 7.
Central Catholic hands the ball off to Chris Black a lot in this season so far, and they'll continue to do that today. He gets a heavy load.
It feels to me like an opportunity for Central Catholic. You can say this a lot, certainly, but shorten the football game. You're rarely going to see this team snapping the football with 25 or so seconds on the play clock, not the way we saw last night from Roman Catholic getting up and down. And they're happy to play methodical. Here's Black going off tackle again. He bounced it to the sideline, and LaSalle able to cascade 2 different helmets to the football. Gain of just 2 on 2nd and 7. Makes it 3rd down and 5 from the 45-yard line on Central Catholic side of the field.
Black tried to get that run outside there, but it was a nice job of the LaSalle defense not letting him get outside and use his speed to get a big gain.
15 on the play clock. Central Catholic still huddled up. Now they'll break that huddle and come to the line. 1st down marker is right at the 50. Central Catholic in white, driving from right to left. LaSalle did a switch, and I think that forced the movement up front. We will see. There was a shift. Was it laterally, or did LaSalle jump into the neutral zone? Central Catholic moving backwards. 3rd down and 10 coming up. Ball on the 40. And as we heard last night when we did the game, the construction equipment backing up. Not bad. Good in-game experience there. So 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Line to gain is right at midfield as Herrick is in the shotgun, 3 wide to the near side. Herrick fires over the middle. That one's caught, and it's a first down and a lot more inside the 40-yard line, spinning right down at the 40. Caught it at the 48 on the other side of the field and spun down. Maceo Watkins, a Navy commit. The senior 6'1", 185-pound receiver did a great job running that route, found the pocket, and there's Owen Herrick, that development that we talked about from August of 2025.
Herrick hung tight in the pocket there. It's always nice when a quarterback can stay in the pocket and deliver a nice pass over the middle.
Now tight formation, one in the backfield along with a fullback. They're going to go to Chris Black. Nothing doing there. LaSalle all over it. Lucky to get back to the line. Several guys in there on the stop, most notably number 99, Kyrie Mitchell, able to shove him backwards. 2nd and 10 coming up.
PIAA rules have the junior 3-star linebacker with double-digit offers, Zyke Scott, sidelined for this game, which means the other linebackers must step up. Without Nick Neary, the linebacker who must step up the most is the Ohio State lacrosse commit Cooper Heilig.
He's done a great job all year, and he has been an absolute star in the linebacking core. Now 2nd down and 10 coming up. Line to gain is at the 30. Central Catholic on LaSalle's side of midfield. Herrick, nice chip there, and now Herrick moves right, fires down the field. Lots of defenders in the area. Incomplete. Intended receiver, Max Roman.
Another close rush for J.P. Oates. He was in there again, but the running back did a nice job of picking him up.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to do that on the right side of that line. Keep that running back in there to chip, because Oates is just having his way with James Halter right now, which is very impressive, quite frankly, given Halter and what he's been able to do and where he's expected to play at the next level. Just a junior with a verbal commit to Notre Dame. 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Herrick stands in, fires towards the end zone. Some contact. The ball was well overthrown. And it'll be 4th down and 10. You would think 4-down territory unless, Jack Burns, this Central Catholic team really starts to think about this as a field position game.
Absolutely. You know, this offense so far has been pretty great. They've had reliable players in Black, and I believe that'd be a good call for them right now, seeing how their recent passes have been a little overthrown and are being defended quite well.
Yep, and well, they are on the field. The offense remains. 4th down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Herrick now looks to the sideline. They'll get a change. 2 different placards go up on that side of the field. And he is going to pooch punt it. Very similar to what we've seen over the course of the year from Gavin Sidwar. Takes a hop inside the 15. It'll roll to about the 11-yard line. And there is that field position being played by Pittsburgh Central Catholic. A scoreless contest, 4:07 to play, and LaSalle's offense back on the field for the 2nd time.
The Explorers take over first down and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
I think the Vikings are okay with it being scoreless so far. I think they may want this one to be a little bit more low scoring, as LaSalle usually puts up a lot of points.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. You are watching, well, you're listening to tonight. Got to break that habit. The PIAA 6A Football Championship on an audio-only broadcast per PIAA regulations on Bob Long Sports.
The all-new Infiniti QX80 has redefined what a luxury SUV should be. A V6 twin turbocharged engine, available 64-color personalized ambient lighting, and 24-speaker sound system, biometric cooling, Pro Pilot Assist, and so much more. Experience the Infiniti QX80 today at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove and redefine your luxury expectations. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. They teach the Next Play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They will be hosting spring tryouts starting in January. 4:07 to play, first quarter, a scoreless contest between LaSalle and Pittsburgh Central Catholic. LaSalle's second offensive possession of the contest will start from their own 12. Ozzie Nelson will open in the backfield along with Gavin Sidwar on the shotgun. Nelson takes the handoff, goes left, makes a move at the 15, skitters forward, and then is taken down at the 19-yard line. That's a gain of 7 on first down and 10. Clock ticks under 4 minutes to go.
Ozzie Nelson this whole season has been nothing but great and reliable player, and I know we talk about it every game, but it goes to show how great of a star he is on this offense.
Yeah, Jack, coming into this game, junior running back Ozzie Nelson has rushed for 834 yards on 135 carries and 14 touchdowns. He also has 8 receptions for 60 yards. In the game against PCC earlier this year, Nelson had 16 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown, while also bringing in 5 receptions for 40 yards.
Nick Stampone in there at left guard, by the way, as they go that direction with Ozzie Nelson. Gets close to the first down marker. It'll all depend on the spot. My thought is third and very short, and that's where it's going to be. Ball is on the 22. Line to gain is short of the 23. Third down, 1 yard to go with 3 minutes and 8 seconds and ticking to go in the first quarter of a scoreless contest. And now a timeout is called. It's an official's timeout.
Timeout for measurement.
They will measure. Rare to see that at the high school level. I think it's the first one we've done or seen all year. And they stretch that chain, and it will be short by just a hair. So third down, less than a yard, 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play.
And then the second game against St. Joe's Prep, we saw LaSalle struggle under center. You got to wonder if that limits them at all on this play.
They come out with one in the backfield along with Gavin Sidwar. There's the handoff to Nelson, and he's got it. Contacted behind the line of scrimmage, but fell forward until forward progress was stopped. Give him a full yard, maybe a yard and a half, and move those sticks.
Nelson on the carry. That's good enough for an score, first down.
Rare that you see Ozzie or Nelson or any tailback get the ball 3 consecutive times for LaSalle, but they liked their matchup. The down and distance provided the fodder, and he was able to plunge forward. Ball spotted at the 23-yard line on LaSalle's side of the field. Owen Johnson and Joey O'Brien lined up on the wide side of the field. Joey O'Brien right on the hash mark inside of Owen Johnson. Instead, they'll go right back to Ozzie or Nelson, who's tripped up a yard or 2 past the line of scrimmage, able to pirouette his way forward for a gain of 4 on first down. 2nd and 6 coming up from the LaSalle 28-yard line.
Gain of 4 yards, second down.
With such a dangerous pass attack, defenses can focus on that too much sometimes against LaSalle, and Ozzie Nelson's able to break off a few good runs.
15 on the play clock. 4 wide, 10 personnel for LaSalle. Gavin Sidwar with a couple steps towards the line of scrimmage to give a message. Now gets back, takes a deep drop, takes a shot against one-on-one coverage. Has a man, a lot of contact, doesn't matter. He brought it in with one hand as he was being pulled to the ground. That's the Notre Dame commit, Joey O'Brien, making the play of the night thus far, all the way down to the 30-yard line on the other side of the field. Make that 42 yards from Sidwar to O'Brien.
And a great job by Sidwar to just put it in O'Brien's breadbasket there. All you got to do is give him a chance, and he'll likely come down with it.
Pass interference called. Yikes. They called that incomplete on the field, and Brett Gordon is running up and down the sideline looking for help. That's a poor call. That is a poor call. So it will be 15 yards to LaSalle, but They had 42 in the air on a wonderful catch. And the video will show it to be the case when these folks are being graded, this officiating crew. And now the back judge comes all the way up. Well, the mic was on. And that, I don't know if you heard that in your living room. We're going to take a second here. Here's the official. Okay, well, when we write about this one in the history books, it really won't make much sense. What you heard the official inadvertently come through over the loudspeaker is saying is, well, they had to decline the penalty at that point. Well, golly, I think they might if they knew that was a catch. Poorly adjudicated, but I'm glad they got it figured out. First down and 10 from the LaSalle, from the Central Catholic 30-yard line after the 42-yard completion. Now Ozzie Nelson up the middle, gains 3, maybe 4 yards on first down in between the tackles. Colson Gatton in there on the stop.
And even a few yards on first downs like that can really open up the passing game for LaSalle.
Pat, like we mentioned all the times, those little slant routes to guys like Owen Johnson, J.P. Oates, Joey O'Brien, who just made that phenomenal catch, are so reliable for the Explorers.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Ball spotted at the 28-yard line. Again, 10 personnel, 4 wide, just 1 running back. And I beg your pardon, Oates is actually on the near side of the field, so 11 personnel with 1 tight end on the right side of the line. They'll go to Jimmy Mahoney. Ball was behind him, brought it in on the slant. Taken down at the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 13 yards and a first down. That ball was a little bit behind Jimmy Mahoney, but that might have been intended there, Pat, because the linebacker was coming across. Good throw, good catch, and a spin to get more yards after the catch for Jimmy Mahoney.
And that was that slant Jack mentioned. Those slants are so great because they can get playmakers into space, and LaSalle has a lot of those playmakers.
That'll be the last play of the first quarter. Jack Burns, a takeaway here after a scoreless first 12 minutes.
Right, I think a big takeaway for this is the defense on both sides. You know, both of them have done a great job of containing their offenses, and they know that both these offenses are top level. So I think really it's going to be this battle of a defense going back and forth, see who can stop it the most.
Bob, it's District 12 versus District 7. It's Christian Brother versus Christian Brother. It's Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh. It's Eagles versus Steelers. It's Wawa versus Sheets. It's LaSalle versus PCC. We are in for a good one.
It's the end of the first quarter here, all scoreless here from Chapman Field on the campus of Cumberland Valley High School. Stay with us and we'll be right back.
At Burns Design Group, our passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting brands, from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies. We create and refresh brands from the ground up and inside out. We transform culture. We drive growth, profitability, and market leadership. We are a group of hands-on veterans who hold more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group. What's next? By design.
Second quarter about to get underway here on Bob Long Sports, an audio-only broadcast per PIAA regulation. I want to say hello to the folks at Roosters in Glenside who are watching the contest here today on the 200-inch screen they call Rooster Vision. Thanks to Chris McGarity, who's done an awesome job taking over for a legendary restaurant in Glenside, putting his own spin on it and making it a great place for family, friends to converse and get together. Check them out right in the heart of Glenside. Roosters, a proud partner.
In that first quarter, Gavin Sidwar was 5 for 6 for 68 yards. Azir Nelson had 7 carries for 57 yards. Joey O'Brien had 2 catches for 39 yards, and Jimmy Mahoney had 2 catches for 26 yards.
First down and 10. Ball spotted at the Pittsburgh Central Catholic 15-yard line. Desmond Ortiz into the contest. J.P. Oates on the line at tight end, 3 wide. They'll give it to Desmond Ortiz, and he's pulled down from behind. Heck of a play in the backfield.
Number 5, Desmond Ortiz.
And it's going to be a loss of 5 yards.
Down to the backfield by number
Manny
20.
Regas, the outside linebacker / edge guy. Really good player for Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
Bob, coming into this game, senior running back Desmond Ortiz has rushed for 189 yards on 38 carries and 4 touchdowns. He also has 5 receptions for 64 yards and 1 touchdown. He was sidelined against PCC the first time they faced off this season, so he's ready to make an impact tonight.
Yeah, he was dinged up over the course of the early part of the year. 3 wide receivers. Again, 11 personnel for LaSalle. 2nd down and 15. Sidwar underneath. That one's caught, and he'll move forward to about the 11-yard line. Sets up 3rd down and manageable. Joey O'Brien in there on the catch. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown. The ball spotted at the 11, 3rd down, and about 6 with the line to gain just inside the 5. LaSalle driving now from right to left as we see it after the quarter transition. Tight set. Again, Ortiz in the backfield along with Gavin Sidwar. Play fake. Throws towards the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, LaSalle. They're on the board first, and it's their star sophomore, Owen Johnson, on the catch. Crossing pattern, a floater from Gavin Sidwar, and we have our first points of the night.
Strong hand from Owen Johnson to come in with that one. There was some tight coverage, but he was able to hold on to it.
Pat, coming into this game, sophomore wide receiver Owen Johnson has 65 receptions, 939 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns. He also has a touchdown off a kick return, off a punt return, and 1 from the Wildcat formation at Father Judge. He had a breakout game against PCC earlier this year where he had 6 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown.
Chris Heck to attempt the extra point. He's been dynamite all year. This is no different. 7-0 LaSalle. They score on their 2nd offensive possession of the night. Here we sit with 10 minutes and 32 seconds to play in the 2nd quarter.
Bob, talk about dynamite. Senior place kicker Chris Heck has been so reliable for the Explorers. Listen to this. He is now 64 for 65 on PATs and 4 for 5 on field goals.
And I think back to a game in early October last year when he hit field goal after field goal, extra point after extra point in a multi-overtime classic against St. Joe's Prep. Led to LaSalle winning the Philadelphia Catholic League last year, which they did again this year. 3 times in the last 5 years, 2021, 2024, and then here in 2025. But still have yet to capture an elusive state title. In fact, this is their first time since 2015 where they even advanced past the district. St. Joe's Prep had a lot to do with that, 8 titles in 10 years. This one is returnable from the 9-yard line all the way out to about the 36, 37-yard line. Good return for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Jaden Alexander, able to take that one back, and now Owen Herrick and the rest of that offense will come onto the field.
1st and 10 Vikings. Ball spotted at their own 36-yard line.
The LaSalle defense has been great against Central Catholic's run game so far. The defensive line has to keep that up throughout this whole game.
Well, on the offensive line, you talk about an offensive line-centric program. That's Pittsburgh Central Catholic. They tailor the offense to the personnel, not on any set scheme. And so this personnel is you got big boys up front that can really block, and they're going to get them out moving on a screen pass that's going to go for about 7 yards. Good play design there for Ryan Lee Meyer, trying to neutralize the aggressiveness of the LaSalle defensive front. Alexander in there on the catch. He got the big boys from the left side of that line leading the way for a gain of 7.
I've got some stats here from the game currently. Joey O'Brien with 2 catches for 49 yards, including that 42-yard catch he had earlier this game. Owen Johnson with that 11-yard catch for the touchdown.
Chris Black in the backfield. They're going to give it to him. He's hit in the backfield and dropped there immediately. Great play by J.P. Oates. He has been disruptive on that side of the football, getting more and more comfortable in that position as the season goes along. He really wasn't even playing on the defensive side of the ball with any consistency until the Father Judge game. He would come in on third down type situations, pin your ears back. You don't need to worry about gap or scheme integrity. That's fine. But in the Father Judge game, Brett Gordon said, we're going to need him if we want to win a game on December 6th. And so here he is wreaking havoc on the defensive line, and it earned him a meteoric rise from a Temple commit about 4 weeks ago to a Virginia Tech commit on the defensive side of the ball. Third down, 5 yards to go. Herrick drops straight back, drops it off in the flat, and it's going to be a first down for Black. Skitters his way out of bounds. That's going to be a gain of 7 when he needed 5. First and 10, move those sticks. It's another nice job going to the flat for the screen game, Pat, where LaSalle is just throwing numbers into the backfield.
Yeah, Black just kind of slipped out of the backfield there, and LaSalle didn't have anyone on him, not a guy you want the ball with in space.
And a little quickly getting to the line, Chris Black is hit. A flag comes in the area of a face mask. Chima Auguste and Ryan Fandozzi in there on the eventual tackle, but it was one of those interior linemen that got the face mask there, it would appear.
Kyrie Mitchell did have the initial hit.
Foul goes against Jamel Williams, number 56. 15-yard penalty.
And that's the third 15-yard penalty for the Explorers. They have to clean that up.
Well, LaSalle's sideline does not agree with the call, for what that's worth. Ball spotted on the 37-yard line on LaSalle's side of the field. Herrick drops straight back again. Clean pocket, takes a shot towards the end zone into double coverage. Really, there was no receiver in the area. The only reason you might not see an intentional grounding there is, the receiver cuts off the routes, just a miscommunication, but more importantly, the quarterback was not under duress. We saw that call or no call a couple years ago in a high-level college football game. And at the meantime, by the way, more importantly for LaSalle, J.P. Oates down on the field at the conclusion of that play, being tended to by Dave Crow, the athletic trainer for LaSalle High School. And as they take a look at J.P. Oates, we'll take a very quick break here from Chapman Field.
The all-new Infiniti QX80 has redefined what a luxury SUV should be. A V6 twin turbocharged engine, available 64-color personalized ambient lighting, and 24-speaker sound system, biometric cooling, Pro Pilot Assist, and so much more. Experience the Infiniti QX80 today at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove and redefine your luxury expectations. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. They teach the Next Play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They will be hosting spring tryouts starting in January. 8 minutes, 37 seconds to play here in the second quarter. From Chapman Field at Cumberland Valley, the multi-year home of the PIAA State Football Championship. LaSalle ended up calling a timeout before they ever got to snap the football, so we're in a little bit of a break right now. A chance to tell you about this Cumberland Valley facility. Several years ago, there was a bidding process from the PIAA when the contract with Hershey Park Stadium was up, the longtime home of the PIAA state playoffs, and where both of LaSalle's prior state championship appearances were played, both in 2009, a snowy day in December, and then again in 2010. Cumberland Valley went up against Altoona's Mansion Park, Penn State's Beaver Stadium, and then again Hershey Park Stadium, and won the bid. Mechanicsburg, also the home of the PIAA offices. They've done a nice job in their last 3-4 years here at this facility. Now on second down, Colson Gatton is the man in motion. They're going to hand it off to Chris Black, and LaSalle's defensive line has been good. A highly vaunted Vikings offensive line. But right now, Jack Burns, it's LaSalle's defensive line pushing into the backfield.
Absolutely. They've been applying some great pressure on this Vikings offense. And, you got to keep battling down. You got to keep doing that for the rest of this game if they want to see some success.
Third down, 10 yards to go. Ball spotted on the Vikings' 37-yard line. Likely 4-down territory. Gatton is the halfback, again comes in motion, overloaded to the near side of the field. Herrick is looking that way, fires towards the end zone, and it is deflected. Great defensive play on the ball for Trey Hopkins. Colson Gatton, believe it or not, number 40, was the man that went down the field. He does not usually try to catch 35-plus yard passes. And Trey Hopkins, that's a favorable matchup for him. 4th down and 10. The offense stays on the field for Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
Yeah, Bob, Trey Hopkins, the cornerback, has been so impressive this year with 26 tackles, 15 pass deflections, and 1 interception coming into this game. Only a junior with a whole year to blossom.
Line to gain is the 27-yard line, and they're going to pooch it again. Good-looking punt. It's just going to take a hop right near the goal line, and it barely got over into the red-painted end zone. A touchback for LaSalle, a net 17-yard punt. Time to play America's favorite game. Where you at? Let us know where you're listening to the football game here tonight. We appreciate everyone being on board with us all year long and playing along. So tweet at us, at Bob Long Sports. Let us know where you at. 7 minutes, 50 seconds to play, second quarter. LaSalle dressed in the navy blue uniforms. They really have worn these uniforms seldom this year. I think maybe last week was maybe the 5th time or so that they wore those uniforms all year. A 6-game road schedule out of 9 in the regular season. Getting tougher to find games for LaSalle at this point. 1st and 10 from the 20. Ozzie Nelson off tackle. Met a yard past the line of scrimmage and dropped 1 yard past there. Gain of 2 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tackle made by number 8, Ashton Blatt.
Ashton Blatt, the North Carolina commit, makes that tackle from the defensive line position. He was incredibly impressive in the first game where LaSalle played Pittsburgh Central Catholic. And Ryan Lehmeyer told us that he's a guy that keeps his own offensive linemen honest and practices like it's the Super Bowl. He really helps his offensive linemen to develop. And I think if to a man you ask Grayson McHugh, he said, listen, Ashton Black going against him in the first game was a good thing for him as well, and then got to see Jackson Ford the next week against Malvern Prep. Gavin Sidwar, he's going to scramble with it, and he can do it with his legs, striding across the 35, hit way late, and that's going to be an easy 15-yard penalty. No question about it. Nick Karinga, the nickelback, just took a shot at Gavin Sidwar. And Karinga may want to watch his back the rest of the evening after that one. A gain of 15 yards on the scamper on 2nd and 8 for Gavin Sidwar. A part of his game that's gotten more and more impressive, Pat, as the year has gone along. He's been more and more ready to utilize it in big situations.
Yeah, in that second St. Joe's Prep game, we saw him do it a lot.
We even saw him rush for a touchdown against St. Joe's Prep. But Bob, certainly Gavin Sidwar is not just good with his legs. Earlier this year against PCC, he threw for 270 yards on 25 completed passes and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the arm has not been in question, no doubt about it, but the legs have just been an added facet of the game for him. 6 minutes and 56 seconds to play. Clock stopped, a 7-0 lead for LaSalle, second quarter. Desmond Ortiz comes in motion, lines up in the halfback spot. Sidwar is hit and dropped. And it's Ashton Blatt. Blatt is wearing a brace on his left arm, likes to normally come off his right, the offensive line's left side of the line. We mentioned how he went up against Grayson McHugh all day in the opener. But think about Abdul Carter in the national semifinal last year, where he could only go to one side of the line, really only had one arm to work with. Ashton Blatt's injury is not that serious, but he's a lot more effective coming off the offensive line's right side, the defensive line's left side, and he beat Danny Lawyer that time for the sack of Gavin Sidwar, a loss of 6. And a timeout is called by LaSalle. That is the second timeout called by the Explorers of LaSalle, and the loudest that we've heard Central Catholic's fan base all night. If you think back to the first contest, a 23-6 win by LaSalle, defense stood out. And I could argue that this is the best defensive team that LaSalle has seen all year, with Zach Gleason with 20-plus offers, Ashton Blatt, we mentioned, going to UNC, Colson Gatton, Roman Thompson, an all-state wrestler, in addition to a great middle linebacker, and Mahan and Jordan Ray do a great job in the secondary. It's just tough sledding for anybody, Jack Burns, against this Pittsburgh Central Catholic defense.
Absolutely, yeah. As I said, this Pittsburgh defense is going to be a great highlight this game, both these defenses. And we've seen already that last play or so ago when Blatt sacked Sidwar down the field. So, you know that it's going to be a great game.
Second down as we come out of that timeout. Sidwar takes a shot. Owen Johnson one-on-one. Did he bring that down? He did not. Laid out and got 2 fingertips on the football, but couldn't bring it in. Dove for the football at about the 10, and it'll be 3rd down and 16 from LaSalle's own 48-yard line, needing to get to the 36 of Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
Great play design there by Brett Gordon. They had Jimmy Mahoney in the backfield, and he went in motion. And I think the Pittsburgh Central Catholic defense paid a lot of attention to that, freeing up Owen Johnson.
Every time this year we've seen Owen Johnson make a mistake or drop a pass, he has bounced back in a big way for the Explorers, sometimes with some touchdowns. So I wonder if they take another shot here.
They might, and to be clear, not a drop by any stretch. A diving play, just couldn't quite bring it in. Now 5 wide, Sidwar steps up after some pressure, throws it down the field. He's got a man open, and it's incomplete. That would have been inside the 10-yard line. A pretty good throw by Gavin Sidwar. Chima Ogis couldn't bring it in, and it's 4th down. Good job by Central Catholic defensively. They forced us out of the air. They took shots, and both throws so close to giving those receivers a chance.
And even if LaSalle gets half the yardage there, I think they do consider going for it on 4th, but Pittsburgh Central Catholic does a great job of containing that and forcing them to take a deep shot.
7-0 LaSalle, 5 minutes, 50 seconds to play. Chris Heck's heels on the 34-yard line.
Chris Heck has been reliable with his punts, too, averaging 30.7 yards per punt on 18 punts coming into this game.
Heck's punt is a short one, but a high one. Angled into the sideline, and not a good one. That one hits the track at about the 38-yard line, but that means the official is going to keep on moving past the 40 to the 45-yard line, and quite frankly, LaSalle may have even gotten a break with that spot.
The Vikings have been playing the field position game all day, and it paid off for them there. They're at the 45-yard line with a great chance to score here.
Brian Neary checks in on the Where You At, said, "Let's go, Bob, fired up." Mark Gardella, LaSalle class of 19, listening from Milan, Italy. Hail LaSalle. And Matt Derrick, LaSalle Rugby, watching and listening from Greenville, South Carolina, with President Shay Crawford. Tyler Kern, our normal color commentator, listening on a flight to Atlanta. Thankful for in-flight Wi-Fi and Bob Long Sports.
That sucks. Yeah. That's, I got to coach out there like, dude, minus 72.
And JP Oates has been taken to the locker room after an injury. That's not good for the Explorers. He's such a big player for them.
Well, it just, they really don't have another true tight end. They're more inclined to go 4 or 5 wide and just keep the 5 offensive linemen on the field. You saw that when Ashton Blatt was able to get to the quarterback. They didn't have a running back in their chip at the time either, nor a tight end. A storyline to develop, plus the impact that J.P. Oates has had on the defensive side of the football. Ball on the Central Catholic 45-yard line, 5:45 to play, a 7-0 lead for LaSalle. Hand off to Roman Thompson, and this is what he did in August. First carry of the night for Roman Thompson, down the sideline to the 21-yard line. That is a gain of 34.
A nice run from Thompson, but also great blocking. There was a huge gap there.
And now they will go rarely, as they do, up-tempo here. And Thompson again, a big, bruising running back, 215 pounds, a little bit different than what Chris Black brings to the table. Black was the one that ran for over 200 yards in the state semifinal, 5'8", 180 pounds. But tonight, or at least for right now, Roman Thompson, the junior, primarily a linebacker, is the guy that is being effective in this moment. Ball inside the 20, 2nd down and 6. Chris Black now joins Owen Herrick in the backfield. They'll stay on the ground again. Good hole. Chris Black makes one miss. Chris Black will glide to the end zone. Touchdown, Central Catholic. He ran right through that hole where J.P. Oates would have otherwise been encompassing on that right side, the left side of the offensive line. It's 7-6. Central Catholic gets back to what they do best.
Another big hole created by that offensive line, and Black breaks the tackle after it.
Antonio DeFada on to attempt the extra point. Seven apiece in a Christian Brothers shootout for the 2nd time this year. How we started the season is how we'll end it. And Central Catholic has knotted things up.
I just want to talk about the impact J.P. Oates has for the Explorers. Coming into this game, senior tight end J.P. Oates had 33 receptions, 505 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns. And on defense, he has been excellent. He has 36 tackles, 4 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 that was taken back for a 21-yard touchdown against Easton, and 1 fumble forced. With his recent commitment flips, I'm sure he'll be playing defense in college, and that is crazy because before this year, he had never even played a snap on defense. Oates had 19 receiving yards and a touchdown off 3 receptions earlier this year against PCC. Without him today, the Explorers will struggle.
Number 41, Antonio DeFada, will kick off for the Vikings.
Stats on that last drive and touchdown. Black had 17-yard run for that touchdown, and Thompson 2 carries for 38 yards.
Mahoney and Owen Johnson, both of whom have taken back kick returns for touchdowns this year. DeFada will kick this one away. DeFada approaches, and from left to right, booms this one into the end zone. There will not be any return on that one. Lands in the G of Eagles in the red painted end zone. And Pittsburgh Central Catholic side of the field feeling it in a 7-7 contest.
Yeah, Bob, the momentum seems to be going to Pittsburgh Central Catholic right now. Big drive for the Explorers here. If Gavin Sidwar can lead them down for a score, I think LaSalle can take back that momentum.
First down and 10. LaSalle dressed in those navy blue uniforms with the gold helmets, starting from their own 20. LaSalle will also receive the second half kickoff. We're a long way from that, though. Ryan Fandozzi checks in now at tight end. And they'll throw the screen. Joey O'Brien. He's got a lot of room out to the 30, 35, and the 37-yard line. How about the pull from Grayson McHugh? Fleet of foot, very limber. He got all the way out to lay the key block.
On those screenplays, the timing is so important, and Grayson McHugh did a great job of getting out there quickly.
And Bob, Joey is one reception away from leading the city with a new record, 81 receptions in the season.
Hand off to Ozzie Nelson, cuts upfield, gets to the first down marker, keeps going across the 50. Original line of scrimmage was at the 37. They'll mark it at the Central Catholic 48. A gain of 15 yards on the outside zone from number 4, Ozzie Nelson, the tailback.
And even when Nelson does get hit, he does a great job of driving his legs to gain a few extra yards.
We are in the middle 8. LaSalle trying to score and then look to get the football back to start the second half. Ozzie Nelson joins Gavin Sidwar in the backfield, flanking him to Sidwar's left. They'll go screen again, near side of the field. There you go for Owen Johnson. Pirouettes his way and then trips his way forward to the 41. That's a gain of 7 on first down. 2nd and 3 coming up, ticking under 3 minutes and 35 seconds to play.
5 yards, second down.
We saw a fake screen pass to Jimmy Mahoney for a deep shot earlier in the game. That's 2 straight screen passes for the Explorers. Maybe they could be setting something up down the field.
LaSalle taking their time, not coming up to the line with any fervor. 12 seconds on the play clock. Looking to score, yes, but maybe reduce the amount of time that Central Catholic would have to get the ball back. That's how you do it. Ozzie Nelson, he's carrying 3 defenders. Hit at the initial line of scrimmage, maybe a yard or 2 pass, but just kept it going from about the 43 to the 31. What a run.
And Fandozzi and Lawyer were both down the field pushing him there.
I was going to say, not only was Ozzie Nelson carrying defenders, he was carrying his offensive linemen.
First and 10 for LaSalle, now driving methodically, 2:43 and ticking. Ball on the Central Catholic 30-yard line. LaSalle with 3 wide. Ryan Fandozzi now comes in motion, an extra blocker in there for LaSalle. Ozzie Nelson goes to the short side of the field and cuts up the field again. Outside zone blocking well that time from LaSalle. The idea being there that the offensive linemen don't have a specific man, but rather a zone. They're moving off to the right. It's Ozzie Nelson's job to flank them and then put the foot in the ground and cut upfield when he sees his gap. He's done a great job with that vision. It's a gain of 5 on first down. Second down and 5. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for LaSalle. Under 2 minutes to go. 1 timeout remaining. They have full control of the clock and the situation. So they'll go to the ground again. Ozzie Nelson hit at the backfield, and he's going to be dropped right there. He got back to the initial line of scrimmage. Good penetration, though, into the backfield by Cole Bayer.
Also went on the stop, number 32, Angelo.
4 down territory, you would think. A 42-yard field goal is what Chris Heck would have if they didn't gain another yard. That feels a little bit aggressive at this point. So I think you call this with 2 downs in mind. Brett Gordon, the head coach and the play caller for this LaSalle offense. And they go right back to the run as a result. Hit short of the line, but he got there on the second effort. Ozzie Nelson just ran through a would-be defender and moves the sticks. Clock stopped momentarily as they move the chains at 55 seconds to play.
And Pat, now I think we see a slant over the middle.
Down to 42 seconds left. LaSalle breaks the huddle. 2 wide on our near side of the field. They do go to the screen. A lot of contact. Incomplete. Dominic Perella, number 11, the senior, got a handful of jersey on Joey O'Brien. He was in the backfield, and the pass went begging. 2nd down and 10 from the Central Catholic 20-yard line.
And now we see Trey Hopkins check into the game on offense.
Yeah, Jack, 2 receivers come in for 2 bigger guys.
And those bigger guys, Ryan Fandozzi, we've talked about. Jamel Williams serving as an extra blocker. Again, That's to fill the void that J.P. Oates provided as a tight end all year, and certainly in the first 2 quarters of this game until he got injured. Still no word about his potential return. Sidwar stands in, drops it off for Ozzie Nelson, has to make one miss, and gets to the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 5 on 2nd down and 10. And a really nice job out there. I think it was Mahoney, the wide receiver, that just avoided a would-be block in the back. And the holding is going to go against Central Catholic. There was a flag on the play, and now Brett Gordon is talking to the official about whether to accept or decline the penalty. He should accept it. It's about the same yardage, and you would replay the down. An elongated discussion now. Gavin Sidwar now joins the fray with his head coach, Brett Gordon. The signal was a hold against Central Catholic, and now they're determining whether and how they will enforce it or whether it would be declined.
Guarded pass holding on the defense, number 11. 10-yard penalty results in a first down.
So a 10-yard penalty, first down, ball at the 10. First and goal for LaSalle with 29 seconds to play. After a momentum shift with the Chris Black touchdown, this is exactly what the doctor ordered. If you're a LaSalle fan, this is how you manage the middle 8. Now they're looking to punch it in and make good on a lot of work to drive at this point, 70 yards to get to this point.
Only 1 timeout left for the Explorers.
4 wide, 10 personnel as Ortiz is the running back. Sidwar stands in. Tough pass. That one was caught, a sliding catch. It's a heck of a play by Owen Johnson, but the clock continues to run. So now LaSalle will come up to the line and they will clock it. A spike with 13 seconds left sets up 3rd down and goal. And you look back, I don't know. You'll want Owen Johnson to make every play he can, but maybe 2nd and goal from the 10, saving a down, obviously keeping that timeout. Maybe that would have been more advantageous. Now LaSalle has 1 shot to get 6.
Third down and goal.
Sidwar gets the call from the sideline and now joins the huddle. Owen Johnson is out there. Trey Hopkins is out there at the wide receiver position. Jimmy Mahoney as well. Joey O'Brien will go solo on the boundary side of the field. And very adroitly, a timeout called. And we also got to see Ryan Leemeyer's running shoes as he sprinted from about the 35 to the 5-yard line before that timeout was granted. Timeout on the field and a chance to tell you about one of our great sponsors this year, Joe O'Brien Roofing. Family-run roofing company for over 40 years. Joe O'Brien, boy, what a weekend for him. A Roman Catholic graduate, was listening last night as Roman Catholic won the state title and then sent his son to LaSalle. Joey, a terrific player and a Notre Dame commit. I know he's a proud papa sitting in the stands here tonight. So don't bother him this weekend, but on Monday, reach out to him if you need any patchwork, gutter work, new roofs, any type of work you may need. A leak is too late. If it starts leaking, it's way too late. He'll give you a free consultation. He's not going to upsell you. He's just a good man that wants to help people in his local community. So thanks to Joe O'Brien Roofing. Give him a call at 215-267-0883 for more. Third down and goal from the 5. Same formation with Joey O'Brien as the solo wideout on the boundary side of the field. 3 wide to the wide side, and Ortiz as the running back. Sidwar takes the snap, throws underneath. It's going to be caught, and a leap for the touchdown. Owen Johnson has the score. Dominic Perella had a chance to tackle him at the 1, and Owen Johnson leapt him. And that's interesting because at the PIAA level, you are not allowed to hurdle But the flag stayed in the pocket of the officials, and it's a heck of an athletic play for Owen Johnson.
And that is Gavin Sidor's 40th touchdown pass this season.
Chris Hack's extra point is up and good. And how about that for time management in the middle 8? LaSalle scores with 7 seconds left. Got the ball with about 5 minutes left in the first half. And they'll give Pittsburgh Central Catholic almost no chance to do anything here. Expect a conservative squib-type kick from Chris Hack.
And it seems like Owen Johnson is born for big moments. He had 2 huge games against St. Joseph's Prep and has continued to impress on his first year on the varsity team.
Jack Burns, what stood out about that drive? Managing the clock, doing it on the ground, doing it in the air for LaSalle.
Right, absolutely. They did a great job of doing that. You know, it's about picking the right plays at the right time, you know. Giving that ball to Johnson there really gave them the opportunity to get that touchdown. And they know they can trust that his athleticism to make that play.
Stay with us at halftime, folks. We'll thank a few of our sponsors for the year, and then we're going to welcome 2 members of the 2009 state championship football team. A snowy day. A game moved from 7 o'clock to 2 o'clock in 2009 because I guess they thought it was going to avoid the snow. It was snowing from 12 o'clock the night before to 12 o'clock that evening, but what a game it was at Hershey Park Stadium. Returnable on the squib kick, and it's going to take the time down to 2, down to 1. And how about that scorekeeper? Lets it go all the way to 0, and we're just going to head to half. LaSalle with a 14-7 lead, and they'll get the football to start the second half.
Bob, I don't think that drive could have gone better for LaSalle. They took basically all of the time off the clock in the first half and scored a touchdown, as well as gaining all the momentum in this game back.
It is halftime. Appreciate everybody being with us here this evening. Don't go far because we'll have from that 2009 team, Tim Wade and Drew Lockery, 2 of our favorites that have stayed involved with the program over the years and are sitting here proudly as alumni right now watching their LaSalle Explorers with a 14-7 lead. Stay with us. Halftime from Chapman Field.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA state tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a three great opportunities that match your criteria.
Your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kame go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgages dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budget, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches. The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the next best place.
Guys, back to the halftime show here from Chapman Field on the campus of Cumberland Valley High School. The last game of the 2025 football season, the 6A championship between LaSalle and Central Catholic. Thrilled to have two esteemed members of the 2009 state championship team with us here. Class of 2010, Drew Lockery, and class of 2011, Tim Wade with us. Guys, welcome to the booth. And welcome to Cumberland Valley. It is fun, I'm sure, for you guys as alums to see a LaSalle football team in the final for the first time in 15 years.
Absolutely, Bob. Thanks for having us up here.
Yeah, Bob, thanks for everything and what you and Tyler and the rest of the crew have done all year. Speaking for the LaSalle community, it's great, everything you've done for us.
Thank you, partner. We really appreciate it. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't like it and we didn't want to showcase the kids. And you guys were in that spot, and not that long ago. I'm going to say not that long ago. We're not that old yet, I don't think. So, Drew, let's start with you. A snowy day in December of 2009.
Sure.
You're slated to play State College, a 7 o'clock kick, or so we thought. All of a sudden, the game's moved up sometime on Friday.
Yeah, a couple hours, yeah.
Yep, and that was a challenging day on a lot of accords. The current head coach of LaSalle, Brett Gordon, had to basically be woken up and said, you got to get your backside on the road just to get here.
Sure, that's the case for a lot of people.
Yeah. And then when you get to the field and have the opportunity to play, what were some of those challenges?
Well, all year long we talked about getting through adversity, whether it's through injuries or weather or shortcomings, bad bounces during a game. We always talked about getting through adversity. Coach Gordon was big on that, and
of course we're talking about Coach Drew Gordon.
Coach Drew Gordon,
Brett Gordon's father, his late father. And not to interrupt you there, but what about this opportunity for Brett then? I'll let you get back to your point. To be the first father-son coach in the history of the PIAA to win state championships as a head coach.
Well, foremost, I think it speaks volumes to Brett and his father for their coaching style and their approach to the game and the standards they set for these kids. I'm not surprised that Brett's in the position to accomplish that feat.
And what was that coaching style? You said something very specific about Brett Gordon and really his father Drew and the philosophy he had.
Accountability and holding kids to a high standard. Yeah. And things that might seem like a lot from an outside point of view, but as it's instilled from the get-go, it just kind of becomes a norm. And these kids hold themselves accountable. And it's a great regime that they put in place here.
We're here on the halftime show from the press box high above Cumberland Valley. We have Drew Lockery and Tim Wade with us. Tim, you scored a touchdown in the state championship game in 2009. You were an integral part of that team, part of a 2 running back system. What do you remember about those years and your role on the team?
It was just an amazing, amazing few years of, with the team. My sophomore year was Drew's senior year, and I transferred in that sophomore year, and Drew and his senior class had a very tight bond, but a great leadership program where I was able to step in and just help, follow their lead, and it was some of the best years of my life, and it's. They set the foundation, the blueprint for the years to come, and it was great.
There's some consternation statewide about the year 2008, which is the year that the Philadelphia Catholic League entered the PIAA. We're not going to talk about that right now, but I'm curious what you remember about that time frame, from when you went from our goal is to win a Philadelphia Catholic League championship to all of a sudden, oh my goodness, we now have an opportunity to win the state of Pennsylvania. Do you remember anything about that change and the year that became a reality?
Absolutely. It was so cool. Just the fact that obviously you represent LaSalle and your school first, but you have a chance to win the Catholic League, and then a chance to represent the Catholic League and win your district, and then a chance to represent your district and win the east part of the state, and then get to the state title and represent Eastern PA. That was such a cool thought, and it was great we could be a part of that in 2009 and reach the apex.
And let's talk about that game in 2009 then, Tim. The one and only to this point. Maybe we're an hour and a half away from changing that.
Hopefully,
the one and only state championship in LaSalle's history. So what does that mean? How has that allowed this team to stay bonded and stay together over the years?
It's brought us all here tonight. It's bringing back great memories, and I think they have a strong chance to be able to pull it out again as long as they just keep their cool, stay emotionless. With the momentum swings that Pittsburgh Central Catholic had there heading into the second half, I think they kept their cool, and if we keep doing that, we'll be fine.
when you think about this LaSalle team and the 15-year gap between being in this game last and being in this game now, certainly there was a big rival down the street from LaSalle that was a big part of the reason, a roadblock to get there. And as you guys have followed this team through a coaching change, through some personnel changes, a change in philosophy like you said, how proud are you that this team is here now, and how would you describe the process from the Letterman standpoint over the last 4 or 5 years to get here?
Well, just extremely thrilled for the kids to have this opportunity. They haven't been here in quite a few years, but they've had some teams to do it, talent level wise, and it's very tough to get to a state championship and to win it. To see them get to this point, I'm thrilled for the kids and hope they can get the job done.
Tim, how do you stay engaged with the program? How do you follow? What keeps you in the loop the way you guys have been?
Yeah, well, of course, Bob, I check in with you during every game. But, no, I stay in close touch with Brett Gordon quite a bit. Obviously, he was our offense coordinator when we were playing, but he's been a great mentor to me, not only on the field but off the field in the working and personal career. But also, assist the Alumni Association, help there as well. LaSalle means everything to me. It always has been.
Guys, what will be a key now as we turn the attention back to this contest? What is one key for LaSalle to walk out of here as champions?
It's funny how in the championship game, things come full circle. Throughout the course of the season, things can get really complicated. Schemes change, approaches change. Your playbook expands. In these championship games, you got to worry about the little things, the simple fundamentals that are taught those first couple weeks. I think as long as LaSalle protects the football and stay smart up front on both sides of the ball, they should be fine here.
Yeah, I would say no turnovers and then just staying cool and calm and collected. I mean, if they score, just stay calm and let's stick to it.
Thanks to Drew. Thanks to Tim for joining us here on the Halftime Show from Cumberland Valley. Congratulations. Thanks for being fine Lettermen and representatives of the program.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Really appreciate it.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be back right on the other side here on Bob Long Sports.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA state tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay-May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay-May go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest?
Counting down to kickoff here in the second half. You are listening to the 6A state championship game on Bob Long Sports. Bob Long, Pat Burkhead, Jack McGuire, and Jack Burns alongside. Jack McGuire has our halftime stats for us.
For LaSalle, Gavin Sidwar went 11 for 15, throwing for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ozzier Nelson had 13 carries for 71 rushing yards. Joey O'Brien had 4 receptions for 64 yards. Owen Johnson had 4 receptions for 32 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jimmy Mahoney had 2 receptions for 26 yards. For Pittsburgh Central Catholic, Herrick went 4 for 9 for 45 yards. Thompson rushed for 2 carries and 38 yards. Black rushed for 6 carries, 21 yards, and a touchdown. For the receiving yards, Watkins had 2 receptions for 27 yards, and Black had 2 receptions for 18 yards. Total yards, LaSalle 201, Pittsburgh Central Catholic 100.
Thank you, Jack. 30 seconds on the clock, ticking down towards kickoff. A beautiful Cumberland Valley High School. It's been the site of the state championship for the last 3 to 4 years here, and they've put on a great product. We're looking at a turf field in front of us with red painted end zones, Eagles across, CV in red with a white outline at midfield. A big crowd for LaSalle, a big crowd for Pittsburgh Central Catholic, the large school classification game and the last game of football in 2025 in Pennsylvania. So thrilled that you're all with us, wherever and however you might be listening. LaSalle will receive the opening kickoff here in the second half. And they have an opportunity to dominate the middle 8. Very important at the high school, college, and professional levels. It's been stressed more and more as analytics has become a larger emphasis in football. LaSalle took the football with about 5 minutes left to play in the first half, drove it 80 yards, and scored a touchdown with 7 seconds to play in the first half. Now they'll get the football to start the second. 48 minutes away to start the night. From a state championship now with a 7-point cushion, LaSalle 24 minutes away. Pittsburgh Central Catholic will kick it from left to right as we see it. Antonio DeFata. Toe to leather, and we are underway. Into the end zone it goes, and Gavin Sidwar and the LaSalle offense will start from their own 20. LaSalle with the gold helmets, navy blue uniforms with the white numerals and the gold pants. Gavin Sidwar, he set all types of records, including career touchdowns, season touchdowns, total yards, went over 9,000 career yards in last week's game against North Penn. And here they are, a fellow Christian Brothers school, Central Catholic and LaSalle duking it out. They'll start by going to the ground, bouncing outside. Ozzie Nelson, Colson Gatton in there on the stop, a gain of 2 yards. He went counter to his blocks there, Pat, and I thought it was a good move, but Colson Gatton very, very athletic in that linebacking core.
And that's the second time Gatton has stopped Ozzie Nelson in the open field. Usually Nelson is really dangerous, and it's impressive that they made those 2 stops, which can be game-changing plays.
Gatton, Thompson, and Karinga, the 3 in the linebacking core. Karinga also can dovetail into that nickel-type role, very versatile. Up front, Ashton Blatt has been really good here tonight. Handoff to Ozzie Nelson, bounces to the second level, keeps the feet churning and gets the first down. Hit it about the 26 and got another 8 yards after contact. 1st and 10 for LaSalle on a run in between the tackles.
And the Explorers' run game has been so productive in that first half, and now it seems like it's transitioned over to the second half.
A note about Blatt, by the way, we mentioned in the first half, but he is wearing a brace on his left shoulder. So normally a guy who would go against the opposing left tackle, but much like Abdul Carter in last year's national semifinal for Penn State, relegated to one side of the line, and for Blatt, that's the left side of the defensive line going against the right tackle. Nearly made a play on a run from Ozzie Nelson. Nelson put his foot in the ground and got to the 40. Gain of 7 on first down. It's 2nd and 3.
And a great block by Drew Swords there. He got outside, pulled, and gave Ozzie Nelson a little room for a few extra yards.
Change in personnel. Ryan Fandozzi comes off the field. He's now playing that role that J.P. Oates was playing in the first half and really all season long as the tight end. He transitioned to defense late in the year. He ended up getting hurt on defense midway through that second quarter. He's now committed, by the way, to Virginia Tech strictly for defense. What a story for him. We hope that he can come back into the contest. A 4-yard run for Ozzie Nelson up the middle. Again, hit just about a yard past the line of scrimmage. But he finds a way, Jack Burns, to fall forward.
Absolutely. You know, we talk about Nelson and his ability to run and his ability to keep his feet moving. And that's really what you got to do to get those yards. You keep moving until your feet are off the ground.
I tell you what, he is just a strong downhill runner. Ball on the 44-yard line on LaSalle's side of the field. Methodical drive here that started at their own 20. They've gained 24 yards in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Man in motion. They're going to pitch it that way. That's going to count as a pass. Joey O'Brien cuts up field. And on 1st and 10, he got 9 yards. 2nd and 1 coming up.
And that is a new city record that Joey O'Brien just broke. 81 receptions in the season.
John Lamicus from St. Joe's Prep previously held that record. We had prepared this graphic in the recent past where he had 76 completions to him, and that was just, a couple of weeks ago there, Jack, that he broke that number?
It was actually last week against North Penn.
2nd down and 1. They'll go to the air and throw the screen. 1st down for Joey O'Brien. Needed one, got one. Right at the sticks, and they'll move the chains. So make it 83, I guess, there, Jack, huh?
So far, this LaSalle drive has been really efficient. They're gaining good yards every play, and they're known for their explosive plays, but when you're moving the ball like this, I think you're good with it.
LaSalle in no hurry here as they continue to meander down the field. 3.5 minutes into this third quarter. 1st and 10 from the Central Catholic 46. High snap, he brought it down. Owen Johnson caught it in the flat, made one miss, and now another. embraces contact along the sideline, run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Could have been a loss there, but Owen Johnson continues his stellar game and gains 6 on first down. 2nd and 4 coming up.
Bob, I'd also like to point out that Joey O'Brien avoided a block in the back there. He could have easily shoved that defender, but he saved a lot of yards there.
We've been talking about Ozzie Nelson all night. After battling injuries his freshman and sophomore year, he is around 70 to 80 rushing yards away from rushing for 1,000 yards in his junior season.
Gavin Sidwar went for the hard count. Desmond Ortiz is alongside. Sidwar flanked to his right. And they'll give it to Desmond Ortiz. Cuts up the field. Nothing doing. Ashton Blatt in there on the stop. Nice job coming off the line. Cole Bayer in the area as well. 3rd down and 4 coming up from the Central Catholic 40. Line to gain is just shy of the 35. Four down territory, you would think, here for LaSalle. And maybe they call it in mind. They've been unabashed about going to the ground a lot more than they have in recent months. Ortiz is out there. Joey O'Brien set up in a halfback type spot in the backfield. Sidwar hangs in, throws for O'Brien, and he's got it. Caught at the 35-yard line. They have the first down. They'll move the sticks. And it's a great route from O'Brien, good patience from Sidwar, and a good dial-up from the head coach and play caller, Brett Gordon.
Yeah, right now the run game and quick-hitting passes have been working well for the Explorers, and they've taken off a good chunk of this clock to start the 3rd quarter.
They mark him at the 36, but it was right at the stick. So first down for LaSalle. 7 minutes, 35 seconds to play 3rd quarter. They hold that 14-7 lead. The last time Pittsburgh Central Catholic touched the ball offensively, it was midway through the 2nd quarter, and they had just tied the game at 7. LaSalle's offense has taken control. Sidwar hangs in the pocket, gets rid of it quickly. Joey O'Brien caught and wrestled down at the 31-yard line. Gain of 5. Little rub play that time from LaSalle, where they ran 2 crossers there and took the defender out of the play. The offense thinks it's a rub, the defense thinks it's a pick, and so we go.
Bob, something tells me Joey doesn't want his receptions record to be broken because he just keeps getting them.
They gave him 6, it looks like, on first down. 2nd down and 5. Ozzie Nelson is not on the field. It's actually Josh Simmons lining up for the first time all night in the backfield. And they give it to him, and he barely got the ball in his hands before Blatt was in there on the stop. That's a loss of 2. It's 3rd down and 6, maybe 7 coming up for LaSalle. And Jimmy Mahoney will come back onto the field. Fandozzi comes off. Curious that time. And you wonder about the availability of Ozzie Nelson, where we saw Desmond Ortiz and then Josh Simmons. Here comes Nelson back for the 3rd down and 7. Hadn't been on the field for the last series or so. Again, I think you call this with 2 plays in mind. 6 minutes and 19 seconds, clock ticking. 3 wide to the far side of the field. Joey O'Brien, the lone receiver on the boundary side. Late motion, and now Sidwar steps up, delivers over the middle. It's caught by Jimmy Mahoney inside the 20. And a first down for LaSalle, gain of 15 on 3rd and 7.
Bob, coming into this game, senior wide receiver Jimmy Mahoney had 26 receptions, 537 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns. It was against PCC earlier this year when he became known to all. On defense, he has 2 interceptions on the year, as well as 24 tackles.
And a nice play from Gavin Sidwar there. He trusted his receiver and hung tight in that pocket. Great blocking, too, by the O-line.
First down and 10 from just inside the 20. Sidwar has a man open coming back to the football. Owen Johnson caught it at the 10. Ball was a little bit behind him, but Johnson made a nice adjustment on the play. And depending upon the spot, it should be first down. I was going to say end goal, but they are spotting him at the 10.5-yard line, and it's actually 2nd down and 2. So they can certainly get a first down without getting a touchdown. Line to gain is just inside the 9. Nelson in the backfield. And now it will be a first down. Roman Thompson approached the line, got into the neutral zone, made contact. So now it'll be a first down. They'll walk it off 5 yards. It'll be first and goal from the 6.
Trey Hopkins was in the game ready to get a snap on offense again. And Pat, I believe I mentioned before, but last year we saw him play a lot on offense. This year he's been a primarily defensive player, but we have seen him check into the game at the receiver slot.
We've ticked under 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. LaSalle well on their way to having this football for more than 12 minutes offensively in succession from the end of the second quarter through the middle of the third. Championship-type drive medal. The run, off tackle. Inside the 5, inside the 3, pushed to about the 2. It'll be second down and goal. Ozzie Nelson on the tote, a gain of 4. Ball spotted maybe just outside the 2-yard line.
And these last 2 Explorers drives have been so impressive. They've worked the ball down the field very efficiently, but also slowly, taking good time off the clock.
Ryan Fandozzi comes in on offense for the Explorers.
Fandozzi is in the halfback position. Extra blocker on the right-hand side. Ozzie Nelson joins Gavin Sidwar in the background. Moves to the right and whistles on the field. LaSalle calls timeout, and there they go again with LaSalle College. I don't understand where that comes from, I must say. This is just a public service announcement to the greater Pennsylvania audience here. It's LaSalle College High School or LaSalle. The LaSalle College stuff just baffles me. Nonetheless, timeout on the field. Chance to tell you about our partners at E&M Insurance, a property and casualty insurance provider in North Wales, run by Chris Marr, class of 1989 of LaSalle, former alumni board president, and an overall terrific guy. They do property and casualty work for your business or personal. They can bundle your home and auto. Maybe you have a young son or daughter that's about to get his or her driver's license. That's going to be expensive any way you slice it. Remember that E&M is an independent agent, meaning they work with a select group of highly rated insurance companies that have provided their value, shown everything that they can do over the years. They're trustworthy. So reach out to E&M and help Chris source your next insurance policy. Third quarter action, 3 minutes, 53 seconds to play. Handed off from inside the 2. Ozzie Nelson hit and pushed back. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, and that was it. Third down. Goal to go from the 2.
I've got an update on JP Oates' condition. He currently has a dislocated shoulder.
Yeah, unlikely to return to the game. Three minutes, 20 seconds to play. A huge third down. From the 2-yard line. Does LaSalle go to the air in a condensed space? Nelson is alongside Gavin Sidwar. They'll pull it, and it's deflected, incomplete. Hands up at the line of scrimmage for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Ashton Blatt again continues to find a way to get involved. Fourth down, goal to go. What do? You've had the football for 8 minutes and 53 seconds. You have a chance to make this a 2-score game. You've taken a ton of time off the clock. Do you take the field goal or do you go for it here? This is why you're paid to make the decisions as the head coach of LaSalle. And Brett Gordon is keeping the offense on the field. 2 running backs in the backfield, Ortiz and Nelson. O'Brien goes in motion. They're going to throw it to Joey O'Brien, and he pitches it towards the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. It was a lateral to Joey O'Brien. O'Brien drew the defender and threw it to Owen Johnson, who catches it for 6. What a play call.
We saw that at prep last year.
Exactly what you said, Bob. What a play call. That's a really gutsy play call to put the ball in Joey O'Brien's hands to throw it.
Owen Johnson with his third receiving touchdown of the game. And Joey O'Brien has to take into consideration the quarterback position.
I tell you what, might as well call it aggressively because I don't know when they're coming back. You got a great team here, and you have an opportunity to win a state championship for the first time in 16 years. Don't leave any chips on the table. What a play call by Brett Gordon. And with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, LaSalle handles the football for 14 straight minutes of action and scores 14 points since Chris Black ran in a touchdown run midway through the second quarter. That's how you go win a championship. So Central Catholic, you got to find a way to tell yourself that you were moving the ball well, and you found a way to pierce this LaSalle defense. It was just an hour ago. LaSalle will kick it from right to left. Pittsburgh Central Catholic will send Chris Black back deep to receive, as well as Aiden Nasaka.
And I've got the stats on that last drive. It lasted for 9 minutes, going 80 yards, lasting 17 plays. O'Brien to Johnson, 2-yard pass for the touchdown. O'Brien, 4 catches and 1 pass.
This one directed towards the sideline, bobbled at the 20, picked up there, out to the 25-yard line, and dropped at the 30. That's where Owen Herrick will have to warm up that arm and bring the offense back out on the field.
Yeah, Central Catholic has been impressive running the ball all season, but when you're down 2 scores in a big game like this, sometimes you have to put the ball in the air.
I think they're going to stay within themselves at this point. Plenty of time. In reality, yes, you ask yourself how many possessions are left in this game, the way it's going, but you got to find a way to score here and then get one stop and see what you can do if you're Central Catholic. Herrick will go to the air, one-on-one, back shoulder ball, pretty good coverage, too good. The flag comes in. Trey Hopkins in there on coverage against number 9, Maceo Watkins.
Pass interference. That's number 3.
Hopkins called for the defensive pass interference. 15-yard penalty and a first down for Pittsburgh Central Catholic.
Tough position for Hopkins there. I think the ball was a little bit underthrown, and Watkins had to come back a little bit, drawing a little bit of contact.
So after the 15-yard walk-off, ball on the Central Catholic 45-yard line, 1st and 10. Black in the backfield. Herrick, though, goes to the air. Crossing pattern, a lot of contact. And Aiden Christie in there on the breakup. Intended receiver, Max Roman. That's one where Central Catholic certainly, I thought, had a case for a potential defensive pass interference. Aiden Christie was on the back of Roman. Did he turn that jersey or not? Did he turn those hips away? That's generally the question that the officials are looking to answer when deciding whether to throw that penalty flag or not. 2nd and 10. LaSalle with a late shift. Herrick with a clean pocket. He takes a shot down the field. Wide open, and it was dropped. It was 6 going the way from left to right. Had that one been caught, Colson Gatton, traditionally a linebacker, snuck out into the flat on a wheel route. LaSalle was beaten.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, 44.
A roughing the passer penalty will be called against LaSalle. And so take 6 off the board, but add 15 yards to the tally for Pittsburgh Central Catholic, and they are into LaSalle territory at the 40.
And Bob, you know who we haven't seen yet? Lucas Johnson, the cornerback, who has 29 tackles, 10 pass deflections, and 1 interception coming into this game. He played amazing against PCC the first time, and I know if he hears his name called, he will step up in a big way.
Aiden Nasaka in motion. Herrick again a deep drop. Again goes towards the end zone. That was well overthrown. Intended receiver, Maceo Watkins.
Owen Herrick's pass intended for number 9, Maceo Watkins, is incomplete.
Again, it was Trey Hopkins on coverage. And Pittsburgh Central Catholic is absolutely looking to stretch the field at this point. We have not seen much or anything from Black on this drive yet. A couple of 15-yard penalties, though, have moved the Vikings down the field. Now we will see Black on the tote. Gets across the 40, dropped at the 38-yard line after a gain of 2.
Number 1, Chris Black on the carry.
3rd down and 8. 4-down territory for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Line to gain is the LaSalle 30. They have an extra blocker and a halfback in there on 3rd and 8, and they're calling this with 2 downs in mind. Chris Black got close to the line to gain on the run off the right tackle. They had that overloaded side with the extra blocker and the halfback path that we mentioned. Why not follow those blockers and set up a very manageable 4th and a long 1?
Yeah, and I don't know if the LaSalle defense was thinking run there. Might have caught them a little bit off guard.
And look at the big boys coming in. Grayson McHugh, formerly a defensive end, comes into the game. Pittsburgh Central Catholic runs, and I don't think they got there. They tried to snap it quickly. They continue to push, and the pile will go. The whistles were not blown, and it's a 1st down for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. First and even second contact looked like it was going to be a turnover on downs, but give credit to the big boys from Pittsburgh Central Catholic on that offensive line. The Vikings move on, and it's 1st and 10 from the 30. And LaSalle's not set again. They can really take a shot here if they get a look. Herrick scrambles, takes a shot towards the near sideline, and actually just throws it out of bounds. I don't know if he was out of the tackle box, and there certainly wasn't a receiver in the area.
Oh, and Herrick's pass is incomplete. 2nd down.
And a timeout is called on the field for an injured player with 1:10 to play. Jack Burns, that's twice now in a row where LaSalle was caught trying to substitute and was late getting set on the defensive side of the ball.
Right, you know, stuff like that happens, but those small mistakes can lead to the opportunities of getting plays. Like you said, that receiver was open, just the pass was a little bit off. And, you know, if they did catch that, that probably would have been a touchdown for them.
Yeah, the one going back earlier in the possession for sure. Colson Gatton was wide open on the wheel route, dropped that one there. They've had their chances, no doubt. This portion of today's game brought to you by Dr. Mary Griffin and Bala Dermatology with routine skin care, early cancer detection, cosmetic options, and more to help you love your skin. Visit her online at baladermatology.com or call our friend Dr. Mary Griffin at Bala Dermatology at 610-664-3300. Thanks also to Andrew Buda Rakowski of Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home, an enthusiastic supporter of LaSalle football and Bob Long sports. He's a classmate of Brett Gordon, a good friend, and a fan of this program, so we appreciate Andrew Buda Rakowski and his sponsorship. Still working on getting the injured player, Max Roman, off the field, a talented wide receiver for Central Catholic. Two programs here with a ton of respect for one another, and if I can just put this out into the ether, let's find a way to get this, if not an annual game, every other biannual type contest between two programs that sometimes find challenges in making schedules and have top-tier programs year in, year out. 2nd and 10, Herrick over the middle, and that one was deflected and then caught. Unbelievable. Dominic Perella caught it after an initial deflection. And it's going to be enough for a 1st down. Initial catch would have been at about 7 yards. And now they run it with Chris Black. Pittsburgh Central Catholic gets up and moves. 3 yards on 1st down. What an unbelievable play on the prior opportunity there. Throw from Herrick, bounced off a receiver, and caught by Perella. 2nd down and 7 from the 15-yard line of LaSalle, and whistles and flags are everywhere. They tried to move quick, a little too quick that time. It'll be a false start against Central Catholic.
Bob, you mentioned earlier in the game that this team usually takes till the end of the play clock, so maybe this tempo is throwing them off a little bit.
Second down, 12 yards to go. Line to gain is down at the 8-yard line of LaSalle. Herrick, straight drop. Goes towards the pylon. Back shoulder ball, incomplete. Good coverage out there by LaSalle's number 22, Aiden Christie. Intended receiver again is Perella, who's playing on both sides of the football, traditionally a cornerback. But they've attacked and gone to his side of the field multiple times. 3rd down and 12. 4-down territory here for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. A field goal does not do you much good at this point in the contest, you wouldn't think. Herrick goes empty. They're going to throw the screen. Pretty well diagnosed by LaSalle, taken down at the 15-yard line after a gain of 5. It sets up 4th down and a long 6. And I'm looking to that side of the field, guys. I am seeing no movement from Pittsburgh Central Catholic sideline. The offense, at least for the time being, stays on the field. And now, 000 on the clock. We head to the 4th quarter. What a game we have here this evening. 12 minutes to determine a state champion, and we'll find out when we come back.
At Burns Design Group, our passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting brands, from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies. We create and refresh brands from the ground up and inside out. We transform culture. We drive growth, profitability, and market leadership. We're a group of hands-on veterans who hold more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group. What's next? By design.
The all-new Infiniti QX80 has redefined what a luxury SUV should be. A V6 twin turbocharged engine, available 64-color personalized ambient lighting and 24-speaker sound system, biometric cooling, Pro Pilot Assist, and so much more. Experience the Infiniti QX80 today at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove and redefine your luxury expectations. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. They teach the Next Play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on start of the 4th quarter, 4th down and 6. Central Catholic, he took a shot, he threw it to the end zone, it's incomplete. Owen Herrick took a shot in the backfield. Jamel Williams and Kyrie Mitchell were in there, intended for Maceo Watkins. There is a flag. Pass interference against the defense. Half the distance to the goal, not an automatic 1st down, but as they step that off 7.5 yards, that'll take it a yard past the line to gain. A huge call in this contest makes it 1st and goal for Central Catholic. Life here for Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Roman Thompson hasn't had many totes here today. He's in the backfield. He'll take the give this time. He's hit and moves the pile forward to the 5-yard line. It is still going to about the 4. It depends when they blew that whistle. The ball came out, and LaSalle has the football. I don't think that they're going to give that to him. I did hear whistles, guys, and I think that they ruled him down. Forward progress at the 5. So that's a pass interference penalty, and then a question of when the whistle was blown that waved off a fumble. It's 2nd down and goal from the 5.
2 calls that don't go the Explorers' way to start the 4th quarter.
Roman stays in the backfield alongside Herrick in the shotgun. They'll go right back to Roman Thompson. He's hit and dropped. And right there in the mix again is Jamel Cheese Williams.
Yeah, Bob, senior nose tackle Jamel Williams coming into this game had 61 tackles, 4.5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble.
No gain. 3rd down.
Third down, 4-down territory here, Pat.
Grayson McHugh just came into the game. We've seen him come in short yard situations like this.
He got the interception last year against St. Joe's Prep. How amazing would it be if he could do something like that again here?
Here's a direct snap to Chris Black, trying to get to the edge towards the pylon. Pirouettes his way in. Touchdown. He dove and he nearly went end over end as he put every last morsel into that run. What a terrific effort for Chris Black. It's 21-13. And now an opportunity to cut it to 7. And an eternity left in this football game. 10 minutes, 31 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. DeFada drills it. 21, 14.
Salle College 21, Pittsburgh Catholic 14.
This portion of today's game brought to you by the Great American Pub. I want to thank our buddy Chuck Kempshire for supporting us for so many years. With 3 locations in Phoenixville, Wayne, and Conshohocken, there's always a Great American Pub near you. Check out the rooftop bar. They must have the heaters going here tonight. They keep it open year-round, and it's a great spot to have a drink, get a great meal, go before, during, or after the big game. Thanks to Great American Pub for their sponsorship. Ten minutes, 31 seconds to play. We'll put the ask out again. Where are you at? Let us know where you're watching the game from. Tweet at us at Bob Long Sports. And while you're at it, like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. Thanks in advance. DeFada couldn't kick this one into the end zone. It is returnable for Owen Johnson from the 5. Patience now as he's going to creep upfield, taken down at the 25-yard line. Pretty well defended, pretty well diagnosed by special teams unit of Central Catholic. And so now LaSalle comes out onto the field, having scored on each of their last 2 drives, but guess who else has? Central Catholic. And so what was a defensive battle for a long portion of this game, all of a sudden we're seeing long methodical drives ending in 6. And we got a long way ahead of us here in the state final, the last game in Pennsylvania here in 2025. "11 personnel for LaSalle. Gavin Sidwar out of the shotgun. Handoff, Ozzie Nelson. Good patience as he gets to the second level. That was Le'Veon Bell-ish as he skittered those feet in the backfield and then hit the hole, a gain of 8 on first down, going off the right tackle. Colson Gatton in there on the stop.
The LaSalle offensive line has been so great in run blocking today.
LaSalle in no hurry. They haven't even broken the huddle, and now they will at 12 seconds on the play clock. Trey Hopkins is split out into the slot. Sitting down in coverage is Joey O'Brien. It's caught out past the 40-yard line. Just a little hitch that time, Jack Burns. And a good pull from Gavin Sidwar as a run-pass option. Pulls that out of the belly of Ozzie Nelson and takes the easy pitch and catch.
Right, absolutely. You know, throwing to Joey O'Brien is always a great play. It's always a good idea, especially when you know these players are at their peak right now and want to win this game.
Ryan Fandozzi comes off the field. Gavin Sidwar takes the play call and comes back on. Again, LaSalle in not a particular hurry. They have taken control of this game through long, methodical drives, but now just a one-score game. 1st and 10 from the LaSalle 41. They go back to the screen. Joey O'Brien knifes his way forward to the 49-yard line. A flag comes in late, and there were extracurriculars going on. As of now, it's a gain of 7, and we await the call. It looked like it may have been thrown after the play was over. 4 officials are congregating, and now a face mask is called against Central Catholic of the 5-yard variety. Makes it a first down and takes it across midfield. A little bit of a foggy type evening as you look high at the light stanchions here at Chapman Field at Cumberland Valley. A beautiful night. 1st and 10 for LaSalle from the Central Catholic 47-yard line. After a hard count, Gavin Sidwar now looks to the sideline and will get back into the set. Sidwar is going to take it himself on the run. They saw something they liked, and he took a hit after he slid. No flag on the play for now. A 7-yard run for Gavin Sidwar. And that is the first time I've seen a true designed run for Gavin Sidwar, I think, in his 4 years as a LaSalle Explorer.
And, Bob, that means Central Catholic has also not seen that before.
They saw something they liked, the light box, no doubt about it. 2nd down and 3. Ball spotted right at the 40. Nelson flanks Sidwar to his left, and they'll go to Ozzie Nelson. Jump cuts twice and does not get back to the original line of scrimmage. Terrific defensive play. Jordan Ray came all the way up from the secondary. Ashton Blatt also in there on the stop. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Line to gain is the 37-yard line. And one of the more critical plays of the game thus far. Likely 4-down territory for LaSalle.
2 big boys, Ryan Fandozzi and Jamel Williams, checking into the game on offense, replacing 2 little guys, Trey Hopkins and Jimmy Mahoney.
Yep, extra blockers. Fandozzi set up at halfback. Just 2 wide receivers for LaSalle. And they'll go with Ozzie Nelson. He got close to the line. All depends on the spot. Near side official has him short. Far side official, I'm not sure. It just depends where they put the football.
Looks like he's
and
short.
It is 4th down and a half a yard. The big boys will stay on the field for the time being. LaSalle rarely goes under center. And I don't know if we'll see it here. Anecdotal, yes, but there were 2 situations in the St. Joe's Prep game where they went under center, and neither of them went well. Biggest play of the season thus far here for LaSalle. And flags come in. A timeout is called by LaSalle. They are down to now 1 timeout remaining in the second half, but this is one you have to get right.
That's huge, Bob, because Central Catholic on the other side of the field has 3 timeouts to use.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Joe O'Brien Roofing, family-run roofing company in the greater Philadelphia area. Joe O'Brien, what a weekend for him. He's a Roman Catholic grad. He was listening along with us last night, and now he is here supporting his son and Notre Dame commit, Joey O'Brien, trying to win a state championship himself. Joe O'Brien can help you with patchwork, gutters, full roof redos, leaks, you name it. And so if you can reach out to him at 215-267-0883, he can help you and your family. We ask you to support the folks that are supporting high school athletics, thanks to Joe O'Brien Roofing. Out of the timeout. 4th down and about 1 from the Central Catholic 38-yard line. Sidwar is in the shotgun. Ozzie Nelson to his right. Do they keep this one on the ground? They will keep it on the ground, and he has the first down. Ozzie Nelson with a gain of 3 yards. Boy, that was not, hey, find the seam in the zone and put your foot in the ground. That was downhill running off the left tackle for Ozzie Nelson.
And that's what Nelson is best at. He's a physical runner that really drives his legs.
And now starts to ask the question, just how much of this clock can you take off? 6 minutes and 42 seconds clock ticking here in this 4th quarter. Jamel Williams, by the way, checking in the extra blocking tight end type position. Back to Nelson. Nelson hit, doesn't get much. 1, maybe 2 yards. Ashton Blatt is in there trying to knife at the football, trying to pull it out. And after the play, both Blatt, Thompson, and then Nelson went down. It'll be 2nd down and 9 coming up next. What a pivot for this team, by the way. A team that's willing at any given point, if you give them the right look, to go 5 wide all day long. Now, they're running the football down the opposition's defense and unabashed about it. No doubt the injury to J.P. Oates, not expected to return, changes how the way this team has to call the offense and, quite frankly, who needs to line up at that tight end position. Jamel Williams provides that extra blocker on the left side of the line as we look at it. And a whistle on the field. The 3rd and final timeout is called by LaSalle with 5 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. And does that become a storyline as the game goes along here? No ability to stop the clock the rest of the way. Want to tell you one more time about our friends at E&M Insurance, property and casualty insurance provider in North Wales, run by Chris Marr, class of 1989 at LaSalle High School, and a proud sponsor for many years on Bob Long Sports. Property and casualty insurance for your business or your personal insurance, bundling home and auto. Again, maybe you have a young man or woman, a young high schooler that's about to get his or her license. Reach out to Chris and see how he can save you money and improve your service. Call them at 215-368-9555 or visit them online at eandminsurance.com.
Bob, the Explorers don't have any timeouts left.
That's exactly right. 2nd down and 9. Line to gain is the 25. Des Ortiz, backup tailback, is in the game. Now they'll go to the air. Sidwar stands in, takes a shot, and throws it out of bounds. Very well defended that time by Central Catholic. Colson Gatton was in the area defending Trey Hopkins, as was Seamus Mahan. 3rd down and 9, and squarely in no man's land here. This is 4 down territory all the way. Loudest the Pittsburgh Central Catholic side of the fan base has been all night long. 4 wide, 10 personnel with Ortiz in the backfield. They'll throw the screen. They have a man inside the 30, and they pull him down at the 28-yard line. 2.5 yards shy of the 1st down marker. Sets up 4th down. Your options are a 45-yard field goal for Chris Heck with the wind, or keep the offense on the field. This feels all day like going for it on 4th down territory. And the offense does stay out on the field. Gavin Sidwar gets the call. He ran all the way over to the sideline, as he does most plays. He communicated with the prior record holder, head coach Brett Gordon, the record holder at every quarterback stat prior to Gavin Sidwar showing up. And now this record-holding quarterback has a chance to move that much closer to a state championship. 4th down and 3. They go to the air. Sidwar on the crossing pattern. And what's the call? Incomplete is the call. Turnover on downs. Pittsburgh Central Catholic gets the football. What a break on the football. Intended for Joey O'Brien. It looked like he got a couple of hands on it, but he dropped the football with some really good coverage by that secondary. Now, Herrick will take a shot. Good-looking ball, incomplete. Good safety help and pretty good coverage out there by LaSalle.
He's incomplete. Broken up by number 12, Chima Augusti. 2nd down.
The call is defense from the LaSalle fan base, and after a running play, a flag's going to come in late. It was pretty well defended as Chris Black went off tackle. Whistles blow, clock stops as we await the call.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
They're marking on a 28.
Long discussion here on the field. Here comes the white-hatted official. And a face mask penalty, a 15-yard penalty goes against LaSalle. The third 15-yard penalty assessed against the LaSalle defense for the last 2 times Pittsburgh Central Catholic has had the football. Believe it or not, just the second offensive drive for Central Catholic here in the second half. And they have a chance to go down and tie this football game. Clock ticking, 4 minutes, 22 seconds to play. Colson Gatton goes in motion. The receiver comes off the line, and another one in motion. 3 wide as Herrick takes the snap, drops straight back, has good protection, fires over the middle, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Joey O'Brien inside the 30, inside the 20. He's got one man to beat at the 10. He's inside the 5 and ripped down at the 2. Joey O'Brien turns this game around with his second interception of the year, and boy, does it come at the right time.
Who else besides the back-to-back PCL MVP, the Gatorade Player of the Year, and the Notre Dame commit, Joey O'Brien?
It felt like as Herrick kept going to the air and down the field, you bring the safety into play more. And Joey O'Brien has the biggest moment that he's had in a LaSalle uniform.
And O'Brien just read that ball right out of Herrick's hands, and it pretty much went right to him. He's had some chances this season to pick some off, but that was the biggest one, and he got the job done.
After a long interception drought, he finally got his first one at St. Joe's Prep, and the biggest one of his career here tonight.
The ball is spotted at the 2. About as big a flip as you can have on any one given play in a game. They'll be replaying that one for years and years and years. Ball at the 2. LaSalle's offense on the field. Ozzier Nelson on the give. Gets to the edge and scores. Touchdown LaSalle. 1 play, 2 yards. 27-14. And LaSalle has turned this one into a 2-score game. Joey O'Brien makes the play of the day.
You could feel the nervous energy on the LaSalle side, but then after that Joey O'Brien interception, it's all positivity right now.
Chris Heck. Jack mentioned the stat. Just 1 blocked or missed extra point all year. Well, he's got a second one. That was blocked, and it's 27-14 with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to play. What a game, what a moment.
And LaSalle did not win anything yet. They have to stay locked in for the next 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Senior wide receiver Joey O'Brien coming into this game had 76 receptions, 1,148 receiving yards, and 18 touchdowns. He also plays on defense where he had 48 tackles.
I'll say he does.
11 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 interception. Now that he has 2. Although he did have 6 receptions and 59 receiving yards, he got injured in the first meeting between these 2 teams earlier this year, but he remained healthy today and gave the Explorers a strong chance to close this game out in the 4th quarter.
You know what I want to see? I want to see the video from Roosters and the big watch party in front of the 200-inch television called Rooster Vision. I know they had a lot of folks there in Glenside tonight watching this contest. What was that reaction when Joey O'Brien made that interception and took it all the way back to the 1-yard line? Thanks to Roosters for their sponsorship of what we do here on Bob Long Sports.
Kick receive for the Vikings. Number 1, Chris Black. Number 4, Jaden Alexander.
Chris Heck will kick this one deep. What a shot in the arm into this LaSalle crowd. Now 3 minutes and 50 seconds away from their first state title since 2009. Returnable to about the 35-yard line.
Number 15 on the return.
Number 15, Ty Wilson on the return for the Vikings.
And so now how do you turn this around here if you are Central Catholic offensively? How do you shake that off?
First and 10 Vikings.
And do what you need to do, which is go down and score. They do have 3 timeouts remaining. 3 minutes, 43 seconds to go. There is time to do this. They just need to be efficient. Herrick fires towards the sideline, incomplete. Pretty good coverage out there by LaSalle. They had safety help, but running to the sideline on the cornerback assignment was Trey Hopkins. Maceo Watkins was the intended recipient. Ball on the 35, line to gain is the 45-yard line. 2nd and 10.
For such a young quarterback, Owen Herrick needs to shake that interception off and just focus on what he can control.
Herrick, straight drop. Down the field, he fires. That one was nearly intercepted as well. The only guy near it, quite frankly, was Cooper Halig, number 43. He got one hand on the football. That was not a good decision by Owen Herrick.
And Halig has made his fair share of big plays this season. Usually against St. Joe's Prep, he would have liked to have that one there.
Chris Black will move towards the sideline, and now he's going to line up in the slot, 5 wide for Central Catholic. The Vikings dressed in white, moving from right to left. Herrick drops straight back again, has time, clean pocket, delivers over the middle, and it's intercepted again. Guess who? Joey O'Brien, and he takes a knee at the 42. A fastball went through the hands of the intended receiver, and Joey O'Brien with just 1 interception coming in. The Notre Dame bound. O'Brien has 2 and may have just sealed the 2025 6A state championship for LaSalle. And there is an injured player down on the field. It is a Pittsburgh Central Catholic Viking. Turn it to you, Jack. Now, Joey O'Brien, everything he's done for this program, now as a senior, for him to put this away defensively, perhaps the best safety prospect in the country in the class of 2026. What a moment.
Absolutely. You know, this team wouldn't be where it is without Joey O'Brien. They really have relied on him all season. And in these moments where that interception he had for that touchdown, you know, they needed that. That really helped them secure this game. Especially now after getting that other interception, helped them even more.
Bob, I see J.P. Oates on the sideline, not in his shoulder pads, but good to see him get to enjoy this moment.
You do think about J.P. Oates in this moment, just committed to Virginia Tech on a late flip from James Madison. Certainly there was some turnover at James Madison, but turnover at Virginia Tech that led to James Franklin taking that role. And what an opportunity for him to fill out his class. So J.P. Oates, after the conclusion of this game, will take his time to get right, get healthy for when he enrolls at Virginia Tech next year.
And Bob, you talked about it earlier in the season. Some colleges were just waiting on more defensive film from JP, and I think they got that, and that's why Virginia Tech bounced on that opportunity.
The Central Catholic, the offensive player, does remain down at the 45-yard line because he's getting such great care. There's 5 medical staff standing over him. We don't have the number at this time. But we're going to take a quick break and come back on the other side. You are watching the 6A Championship on Bob Long Sports.
here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed the most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA state tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
With Franchoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. Franchoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the
Back to live action. They were able to continue to care for that Central Catholic Viking. And LaSalle has the football, and Ozzie Nelson goes off tackle in an inside zone. Gain of 3 and an immediate timeout by Ryan Lehmeyer and the Pittsburgh Central Catholic Vikings. They have now 2 remaining after that timeout called. It'll be 2nd and 7 from the Central Catholic 40. Joey O'Brien, 2 interceptions in the late action here, and it came when Central Catholic needed to go to the air, Jack, and they needed to find a way to get back into the game. That's where your center field all-world safety can get his.
Before his second interception, his stats were 10 catches for 99 yards, 1 completed pass for a 2-yard touchdown, and a 52-yard interception return.
Second down and 7 out of the timeout. 3 minutes and 18 seconds to play. LaSalle driving from left to right, and if they do it right, they don't need to give the football back to Central Catholic. They'll hand it off. Ozzie Nelson makes 1 miss and drags 3 tacklers forward for a gain of 3. Another timeout immediately called, the 2nd of 3 for Central Catholic, and it will be 3rd down and 4 yards coming up.
Before that play, Nelson had 23 carries for 124 yards this game.
He's been a star today for LaSalle, and he's just been running so tough, allowing the other guys to make big plays too.
Give me those numbers one more time.
I said 3. I meant 26. That's my fault.
That's okay. 26 carries. I mean, the 124 is great. The 26 carries, how much they have just leaned on him as their bell cow here tonight. A team that started the year going 5 wide, and they still have the opportunity to do it, but they turned into a running team as the temperatures drop under 30, as it becomes true winter football. They have shown their ability to win big-time games against terrific teams in multiple facets. And in my mind, that's what a championship team is all about. So LaSalle will now break their huddle and come back onto the field. 3rd down, a short 4, and I think 4 down territory. Just 1 timeout remains for Central Catholic. They'll go back to Ozzie Nelson, bounces it outside, now cuts it up the field, gained 1, and that's it. Stopped at the 36-yard line. Line to gain is just inside the 34, maybe at about the 33. final timeout called for Central Catholic. And so now LaSalle with the decision. I presume the offense will stay out onto the field. And a first down here just about seals it. Let's take just a moment to think about the road to get here and this season. Quickly around the table, Jack Burns, a thought on the season to this point and everything that's gone into this night.
I mean, it's really been great. I've had such a great time covering these games and doing this with everyone in this booth right now. You know, and this team has been nothing but spectacular the whole way. You know, they have their difficulties, but they've prevailed and shown everyone that they are a great team.
I think in the two most important games of the year, the first one against St. Joseph's Prep at Villanova, the second time between those two teams, Owen Johnson, the MVP of that game with 2 receiving touchdowns. Now the most important game here tonight, Owen Johnson, the MVP with 3 receiving touchdowns. Backup MVP for the first game, Joey O'Brien with that interception.
4th down, 5 wide. LaSalle can end it here, and it's deflected in front. Second time that defensive line has deflected a Gavin Sidwar pass. And so off goes Central Catholic. On the defensive side of the football, they will bring their offense onto the field. 3 minutes and 3 seconds to play. They'll have to drive down the length of the field, score a touchdown, and then kick an onside kick. Joey O'Brien has been everywhere all year long, but the more you think about it, how crazy it is that all those drives he's played defensively, he had 1 interception. It was in the biggest game of the year at a huge moment, sealed the game against St. Joe's Prep. Now the last 2 times he's been on the field, he's intercepted the football, and it's led to almost at that point where you can call it moving forward with a state championship. Incomplete on the initial pass there. 1st and 10, now make it 2nd and 10. Herrick was looking his man over the middle on a crossing route. The ball was low. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Ball at the 36 on Central Catholic side of the field. He drops straight back on a 5-man set. Drops it underneath, and that one's dropped by Chris Black. Just dumped it off into the flat. That's one that 9.5 times out of 10, Chris Black's going to be able to bring in. 2 minutes, 53 seconds to play. 2 downs to get it. A 3rd down and 10 coming up. 5 wide again for Central Catholic. 3 to the wide side of the field and 2 to the boundary now. Black comes in motion back into the backfield. Herrick throws the screen. It's caught with big men blocking down the field. Got near the 1st down marker and thrown backwards. Really good tackle on the play by Cooper Haylig. Dominic Perella on the catch. Cooper Haylig again makes this now 1 yard to go on 4th down. This could be your ball game. They'll go to Black. He has the 1st down and a lot more across the 50, spins to the 45. That's a gain of 10 on 4th and 1. The clock will stop momentarily as they move the sticks. Very quickly, Central Catholic gets up to the line. Fandozzi close to not even being back on side before they snap it. Herrick takes a shot down the field towards the sideline, and that one is caught. Inbounds and short of the line to gain. Gain of 7. We're ticking to 2 minutes and 5. Back into the shotgun. Central Catholic is set again. Herrick to the air. Stands in, now steps up. He can take off with it. Gets the 1st down and takes a knee. Gain of 4 yards, move those sticks. He's now at the 32-yard line. Again, those chains stopped. They're moving, and the clock is stopped momentarily. Now it gets back underway. 1st and 10 from the 32. Herrick in a 5-man set. Fires over the middle. It's caught. Caught at the 16-yard line. Move the sticks again. A gain of 16. Clock does again stop just momentarily. Those chain gang are getting their workout in as Central Catholic moves down the field. 1st and 10, again a 5-man set. Herrick steps up. Over the middle, it's intercepted a 3rd time. To the 40-yard line, he's got one to beat. Joey O'Brien intercepts it, and he's going to take it all the way back his last 3 times on the field as a defender in high school. He intercepts the football, and he goes 84 yards all the way back for 6. 33-14. Joey O'Brien, take a bow. "16 years. A lot of pain and heartache over those years. A team at 17th and Girard that always stood in the way. All of those demons being exercised here tonight. 3 interceptions in the final 3 defensive possessions for Joey O'Brien. And Notre Dame, he's all yours now."
Joey O'Brien single-handedly turned this game around.
At the conclusion of the contest, in order that our players and coaches are awarded all courtesies, no one's permitted on the field.
So happy for these young men. You feel for Pittsburgh Central Catholic, 2 schools that we've talked about over the course of the telecast. Share the same mission, share the same founder. Christian Brothers Schools. And you feel for those young men on the other side of the field. This is the best team that Central Catholic has had in a long, long time. And if you back this up about 20 minutes, they had the football down 1 possession with momentum on their side. That's football for you.
But Bob, they have 2 sophomores on the offense, Chris Black and Owen Herrick. They both have bright futures for this team.
Number 94, Chris Black will kick off. Lead receiver, number 1, Chris Black, and number 4, Jaden Alexander.
Returnable from the 11-yard line. Ran into his own guy and then ran into a wall of LaSalle defenders at the 31.
Jaden Alexander on the return.
Jaden Alexander took that one back 20 yards. First down and 10 for Central Catholic. No timeouts remain for either team. 1:09 to play. What a football game. What an entertaining football game. The score very clearly not indicative of the contest. But it shows you why a guy like O'Brien in center field is so important, especially when the other team has to go to the air. Throw to the sideline. Caught. He'll skitter past the first down marker at the 41-yard line.
Eric's pass is complete to number 14, Aiden Saka.
43.
Tackled made by number 22, Aiden Christie.
He did get out of bounds, so it's first down and 10. They ended up marking him at the 43-yard line. Black goes in motion out of the backfield. Herrick steps up. He fires to the sideline. Same route, same result. First down. It's another 12-yard gain for Aiden Nasaka. And Brett Gordon on the other side of the field just took a Gatorade bath on a 30-degree day. Gavin Sidwar hugs Brett Gordon. What an image that is. The 2 best quarterbacks in the history of this program. Brett Gordon did not have the opportunity to win a state championship as a player, but he won it in 2009 as an offensive coordinator under his father, Drew Gordon. And in 50 seconds, Brett Gordon will put the nail in the coffin and be the first father-son duo to win a state championship as a head coach. What a brilliant story that is. On 2nd and 2, a scramble for a first down and a cheap shot taken by Central Catholic. A little bit of frustration there as Herrick ran for the first down and a blindside block took out a LaSalle defender. I think it was Lucas Johnson that got taken out there, number 9.
Bob, this game means so much to LaSalle. This team, ever since that devastating loss last year against St. Joe's Prep, has been in the weight room, on the practice field, just trying to get better.
So they will back it up. Aiden Nasaka got called for the unnecessary roughness penalty. It is going to be after the play, so the first down, and then step it off 15 yards. They're back at the LaSalle 47. Nasaka comes in motion. Herrick delivers to the sideline. That same route 3 times in a row, 3 catches. This time it was Dominic Perella, number 11, with the catch, gain of 12 and a first down. Out of bounds, so the clock will stop. First down from the 36-yard line. Five wide for Owen Herrick, the sophomore quarterback. A lot more to see from him. He's a terrific quarterback that will continue to step up and play well as the years go along. A low pass, incomplete is the call.
Herrick's pass intended for number 1, Chris Black, is incomplete.
Intended receiver Chris Black, second down and 10. Just a formality now. Central Catholic looking to put one more score on the board, but LaSalle will win a state championship for the second time in program history. Delay draw for Chris Black. He's going to get the first down, spin inside the 25-yard line to the 23. Gain of 13 yards. It's a first down. They'll stop the clock momentarily as they move those chains. First and 10 from the 23-yard line. 19 seconds for Pittsburgh Central Catholic to score one more time. They drop it off underneath. It's for Black. He's got to get a first down and does. Inside the 10, inside the 5, and he will score. With 7 seconds left on the clock, Pittsburgh Central Catholic puts another touchdown on the board, and it's a 23-yard screen pass from Herrick to Black. Nice to see Pittsburgh Catholic continue to fight all the way to the end. They'll keep the offense on the field for the 2-point conversion. Two running backs in the backfield. Herrick eludes one defender, throws towards the back of the end zone, overthrows it. It's out of bounds. And the 2-point conversion does not convert.
Bob, that was Desmond Ortiz who almost got to him there. Not the guy you would think would be rushing him.
What an effort from this LaSalle club. And what I'll remember about this game is twofold. J.P. Oates getting hurt and having a lot of new faces take on new roles. Specifically, Jamel Williams playing as an extra blocker in J.P. Oates' normal tight end role, and taking him off the field from that defensive line certainly affected things. And then Joey O'Brien with the 3 interceptions, effectively the last 3 times he was on the field of any consequence in a LaSalle uniform. The last one he takes 84 yards back for a pick 6. Owen Johnson had a terrific game as well. And in every big game, that sophomore receiver delivered. He will be the primary option next year for Luke Gordon, who will be a junior quarterback, and the rest of the LaSalle Explorers. I want to thank everybody for watching most of the year, all of the year on Bob Long Sports, and for listening to us here tonight. It truly means a lot. It's been a special season. We've been broadcasting LaSalle games since 2012, and clearly this season has a little bit of a special ring to it, regardless of the result here tonight. Just everything that these young men have been able to do, what they've committed to, Brett Gordon and his time running this program. It's been phenomenal. We've been treated like family, and we appreciate the LaSalle community for following along all year.
Bob, it does have a special ring to it, especially because they're going to get a special ring in about 7 seconds.
That they will. From a snowy afternoon in 2009 to a beautiful evening in 2025, 16 years they've waited for this. LaSalle has won it all. State champions at the highest classification in Pennsylvania. What a year, what a team, and what a storyline. The first father-son duo to win state championships. The late Drew Gordon and his son Brett, who prior to Gavin Sidwar was the best quarterback to do it here at LaSalle. They will send these seniors off to schools like Missouri and Notre Dame and Virginia Tech, and young men that will continue their careers in different sports, like at Ohio State for lacrosse, and terrific academic institutions like Brown. It just is an incredible senior class that bought in 2 years ago. And 4 years ago when they came, 2 years ago when there was a coaching change, and a very proud community celebrates tonight all throughout southeastern Pennsylvania. Turn to Jack Burns for your closing thoughts.
I mean, this really was great, Bob. Like you said, it's been 16 years since they won. I mean, I was 5 months old. It really has been a long time waiting for these LaSalle fans. And it's great to see this being my first year here and doing these games. It really does mean a lot to me to be able to do this and to do this with all of you guys. You know, it's a lot of fun, and it really has been one of the best times.
Jack McGuire.
Yeah, Bob, thank you, and thank you to Tyler watching from home for letting us be a part of it all year. Joey O'Brien, Owen Johnson, and the rest of LaSalle wins the state championship. That's all I got.
Tyler Kern, you mentioned him, Jack McGuire. I agree. Tyler Kern, wish you were here, buddy. Thanks for being part of this run for the last 10 years, doing this as partners. Couldn't do it without you and can't wait for the next time we get to do this together. Jack McGuire, Jack Burns, Pat Burkhead. He wears so many hats. He's down there on the field doing interviews for an article he's writing. You three are terrific. I appreciate you guys more than you can know, and congratulations as students of LaSalle for being part of this. Jack McGuire, I think, went down to celebrate as well. Jack Burns, feel free to get out of here, partner. Go enjoy with your classmates and fellow teammates, and we'll catch you on the next one, buddy.
Thank you so much, Bob.
And as LaSalle always does, win or lose, but boy, does it feel sweet here tonight. The pep band will play the alma mater.
No, can you kill the music? No? Oh, I know you. It's a celebration. Come on now.
It's a great day to be an Explorer. Thanks for being part of our coverage tonight and all season long. For the entire crew here at Bob Long Sports, I am Bob Long one last time saying so long, this time from Cumberland Valley High School. The LaSalle Explorers are state champions in 2025. Good night, everybody.